time to jump in. We saw a lot of new faces this year in Destiny Universe, but we also we see a lot of people kind of waiting for the right time to jump into Destiny. And so
really?
I think today,
is this an announcement?
I think today I'd like to make that decision a little bit easier for them.
Yeah?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it?
So starting today through November 18th, Destiny 2 is going to be free to all Battle.net players.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, you get to, as long as you register, claim your free gift, it's yours to keep forever.
Until November 18th.
Oni to fakt dali free, jo.
November 18th to do it.
Until November 18th to
my
claim
God.
it, and
Jsme
then
to
you
dali
own it. You own
$60
it forever.
dolarů.
You own it forever.
Guys,
It's free. Yeah.
Go play the game. Come on.
Yep.
Not bad.
That
Not
is
bad
amazing.
at all. That's pretty cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, no, it's and then for the current players, we have an exclusive in-game emblem that we're going to give them. It's going to be available in December.
No, ty musíš mít ten emblem,
It
což
doesn't exist anywhere else. So we're really
Oh.
excited about
Is this
that
be
too.
like, hey, you played it before then, or does everybody get it too?
This is the existing Destiny 2 community right now. Yeah, so that's you. It's just you
Yes,
guys.
you get a little special thing.
So, and you're also running another free Gambit trial through for this weekend, or when is this happening? The Gambit trial weekend.
Well, first of all, if you're not familiar with what Gambit is, I think a lot of people might not be, right?
Yeah.
Gambit's a new mode that we released in Forsaken.
Yeah.
It was a hybrid mode. It was a PvE and PvP kind of a very new
Thank
experience.
you.
It was unique to really something that only Destiny could do.
Yeah.
If you like shooting monsters in the face, if you like competitive modes, if you like taking down giant bosses,
I am into
love
shooting
it.
monsters in the face, and I want to hear more from you and everything about this. But we have to get to opening ceremony really quick.
I want to say when the free trial is. The free Gambit trial is November 9th to the 11th.
9th
so
through
that
the
is
11th.
for all
9th through
Destiny
the 11th,
2
guys.
players.
I love it.
Guys,
Yep.
if you want more details on Destiny 2 and Gambit, you can find additional information on DestinyTheGame.com/BattleNet. And if you've never played Destiny 2 on PC, it's starting free today until November 18th, so grab it while you can.
Oh, yeah. All right. It is time for opening ceremonies. Enjoy BlizzCon 2018.
Welcome! Give me fucking druid! I'm so hypers! Kámo, já to vím. Ona je druid. No, to si myslíš? Ona se jenom přeměnila v prach. To je nová forma, dust forma. Fuck off, so overwatching.
You know there's more out there, don't you? No one can stop death. From you, I have learned patience, my son.
My son. Že to bude, tak budú ohlasať, no prinášame vám novú sračku s názvom Broken Matchmaking. Here we go!
To není nový, ale
No, tak ešte viac Broken než je.
to už je pokračování třetí asi.
Get again!
Dobrá!
More than ever. Are you with me?
Salama Ashalanori!
Like Warheim, Pook! Jo, měl by, myslím. Říkal, že tam bude Mike, takže hádám, že to bude
Ladies and
Mike Moore.
gentlemen, please welcome Blizzard Entertainment co-founder Mike Morhaime.
Thank you so much, everyone.
So much fun.
And welcome to BlizzCon 2018. I think, like many of you, BlizzCon will always be like home to me. And it always feels good to be home. Okay, now I do this every year, and we're gonna do it again. How many of you are here attending BlizzCon for the very first time? How many of you have been to 2 BlizzCons? How about 5 BlizzCons? And how many of you have been to all of the BlizzCons? I've been to all of them too. And I want to acknowledge a very special couple who have also never missed a BlizzCon. My parents.
Fuck off a dej nám revíly.
My ho tam vybučali, ne?
Jenom mi přišel.
What's matchmaking?
How much I
Bring me
appreciate
the
them and
wheels.
their support. Unfortunately, my dad's under the weather this weekend, but they're watching on the stream today. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Whether you're a BlizzCon veteran or are joining us for the very first time, you are among friends. Welcome. Okay, and let's also give a big shout out to everyone joining us via the online stream. Come on. As you know, I'll be passing the baton to my good friend J. Allen Brack this year. But before I do, I'd like to take a moment and reflect a little on the past 27 years. It's hard to believe what an adventure we've had together. When Alan, Frank, and I first started out, I never could have imagined all the places this road would take us. We thought we had it made when we completed our very own game from scratch with the Lost Vikings, or when Warcraft II: Tides of Darkness became our first #1 selling game. And then I thought I was dreaming with our midnight launch events, signing boxes for players. We were totally unprepared.
No takže, že Mike má damage ako Auriela, je posledná v damage so 4 smrťami. A ja hram Karazi, mám dvojnásobný damage, čo tam má. Je úplne choré, tí ľudia. A teraz sa zase suicide. Čo to robí ten týpek, kámo? Ja ho chcem zabiť. Ty ľudia sú úplne retardovaní. To už nie je to hraničí s demenciou, fakt. Nie je normálne. On je posledný v damage, seriózne, posledný v damage.
And earlier this year, we got to experience the Overwatch League finals in front of a sold-out crowd at Barclays Center. How far we've come. We've shared so many great experiences together, and your passion is what made all of them so special. To everyone who joined us on this epic journey, I just want to say thank you. Your support has fueled the creativity and dedication of our entire Blizzard team, and it has meant so much to me. Now I want to say a few words about our new president, J. Allen Brack. Many of you know Jay from his 12 years working on World of Warcraft. Well, you think you know Jay, but you don't. But seriously, Jay has been a great friend of mine since he joined Blizzard. He's led the development team of one of our industry's most complex, global, and influential games for over a decade, and he has done it with great integrity. He is a fierce champion of Blizzard values and a stalwart leader, not only of the World of Warcraft team, but within the whole company. He cares deeply about the Blizzard community and our employees. For all of those reasons and more, I'm proud and excited to see him lead Blizzard into the future. I want to thank you all again for your tremendous support. And now, please welcome to the stage the president of Blizzard Entertainment, J. Allen Brack.
Jo, to je tenhle, jo. Pak to je v pohodě. Nevím. Já jsem jenom věděl to jméno, že jo, že je to nějaký jiný, já jsem nevěděl, kdo to je. Kappa fry.
Look at what you did.
What did I do?
You made this.
Yes.
Thank you, Mike.
It is awesome.
Thank you for all your passion. Thank you for all you've done. We wouldn't be here without you.
Thank you, Jay.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Mike Morhaime, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everyone. That was a great moment. Mike is an amazing leader, and he's the absolute toughest act to follow. He's also helped put us all in a great position going forward into the future. When I joined Blizzard almost 13 years ago, I was motivated by the ability to create amazing games and awesome entertainment experiences. I admired the development-first culture and the Blizzard community. That's you. That's you. You're the Blizzard community. Everyone here, everyone watching. You're the most passionate, most dedicated players there are. Everything about Blizzard today, our games, our employees, community, inspire and excite me more than ever. I'm exceptionally proud to lead Blizzard going forward, but I'm also humbled by the huge responsibility. It's a tremendous challenge. But what motivates us and what motivates everyone at Blizzard is the enthusiasm that you have. When we get feedback and the support from you enjoying our games, it helps fuel us to create more great content. It also drives us to create amazing experiences like BlizzCon. And we think of BlizzCon as the physical manifestation of the Blizzard community. BlizzCon is one of the places where the real magic happens. That's where we as gamers make connections with our fellow players and build friendships that make being part of the community so memorable. BlizzCon also showcases incredible creativity from you through the art, movie, talent, and cosplay exhibitions that you create. All of these come together and make the universes more exciting and make every day more fun. Our pledge to you as Blizzard is to continue to make the great games that you love, create entertainment experiences that you want to be a part of. Gaming can be an incredibly inclusive place. Collectively, work to include and uplift one another, build the spirit around each gaming community, and use it to make a better world. Let's look back at some of the great experiences that we've shared this past year. We came together as factions and took part in Battle for Azeroth, the latest World of Warcraft expansion. We performed wacky science experiments and explored spooky dungeons in Hearthstone. We challenged each other with new heroes and maps across Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm, and StarCraft II. And today, for the first time ever, you can play Diablo 3 on the Nintendo Switch with the Eternal Collection. This package includes all Diablo 3 content, including Reaper of Souls, the Necromancer, and we're excited to work with Nintendo to bring it to the Switch console. These are games that we all love, and the place that we play these games together is Battle.net. We've had some additions to the platform over the last year for some great developers outside of Blizzard. We hosted a record-breaking number of players from Call of Duty Black Ops 4 a few weeks ago. And in September, the team from Bungie launched its current expansion for Destiny 2, Forsaken. We're pleased to welcome these games to Battle.net and make the Blizzard community even stronger. Outside of games, the community showed us something totally amazing and totally unexpected. Foremost among these was the overwhelming support for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Thanks to your enthusiasm for the Pink Mercy skin, t-shirts, and community streamer support, you helped raise $12.7 million. And that's the largest single-year donation from a company in the history of the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So be proud of everything that you accomplished. On the esports side, we witnessed history in the making with the inaugural season of the Overwatch League and the televised Grand Finals event at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. And we have huge amounts of esports to share with you this weekend. We have the Overwatch World Cup, the StarCraft 2 WCS Global Finals, the Heroes HGC Finals, World of Warcraft Arena Championships, and the WoW Mythic Dungeon All-Stars. And finally, the Hearthstone Global Games. There are so many incredibly talented pro players here. Let's take a look at what it takes to compete at this, which is the highest level of gaming.
This is about passion.
Oh my god, BlizzCon.
Dedication.
Oh my god, eufo.
Endurance.
Profesionálně.
Čekáme.
Endless drive to find our limits
Reveal.
and push beyond them.
Ono to tam akože aj všetko ukáže. Nebolo to zase tento rok prostě, že zaplatíš si za to, aby si to pozeral? Lebo tam to mají rozdělené.
Ty revealy jsou jakoby na tom hlavním a potom to o těch revealech, jako víc informací, to je na tom platformě.
Aha, to je potom useless, ne?
No, není to úplně useless.
Tak ale tak co je.
Oni třeba víš co, třeba Hearthstone ti prostě ukázat, že co to je za expanzi, prostě třeba teď mají být trollové, že jo, ale neukážou karty ti ukážou až v tom placeném streamu.
A to však aj tak to všetko skončí na nete, vieš.
No to jo. Kenny to bude streamovat stejně.
Kolko to stojí vlastně to ten... Fú, to je to všechno. Podporujem tým, že si obnovujem subscription za peniaze na Vovku.
This is our time. This is our place.
A dvakrát som si kúpil token, len aby som ho predal a mal goldy.
Fuck?
No. Nejak drahé sú tie potky a nech sa sami farm.
This is about more than games.
Jo.
Bude pravděpodobně teď, bude dražší. Teď to spikne jak svině dneska.
Prečo?
Protože budou revealy a budou předobjednávky, tak budou lidi chtít ty...
Chápem, jakože také ten Blizzard currency něco.
To vždycky je, když je reveal, tak to instantně skočí. Já bych se nedivil, kdyby už teď to bylo, víš, ale...
To je nějak do polnoci, ne? Čo, veď ja pozerám, to je hlavné, ja nepotrebujem ten platený. Mi poviete, keď tam bude čo dôležité.
Finally reveals.
Ja aj tak nebudem pozerať celé. Na 4 hodinách spánku beha od 4 rána, takže...
Yeah.
Did you know that this year StarCraft is celebrating its 20th anniversary as a game franchise? We've got a new co-op commander to show off today. It's on the show floor and playable. Our old favorite Zeratul is here. Our friends at Google DeepMind are also back this year with an update to talk about their work on StarCraft 2. DeepMind is on the cutting edge of artificial intelligence research, and they're working to create stronger bonds between humans and computers. StarCraft 2's unique qualities as a competitive game make it a really ideal challenge for any kind of AI work, and the hope is that this technology will lead to positive, or this work that they're doing will lead to positive advances in the technology. So you can get information about StarCraft 2, new co-op commander, and all the Google DeepMind stuff tomorrow on the Mythic stage for StarCraft 2. This year has also been a huge celebration for Heroes of the Storm. In addition to the team's usual cadence of unleashing your favorite Blizzard heroes and battlegrounds in the Nexus, the team also created themed events, new skins, new quests, and new storylines. And so, while Heroes of the Storm remains our love letter to our favorite Blizzard characters, it's also been a place where the Heroes team gets to explore things that are entirely new to Blizzard as well. Today, I have 2 Heroes videos for you. The first video is going to introduce a new hero born entirely in the Nexus. And she is going to show you that she can hold her own against some of Blizzard's most iconic characters. You get a sneak peek. The second video is going to have a sneak peek of a lot of the exciting video, or a lot of the exciting content that's coming into the Nexus. So BlizzCon, are you prepared to meet Orphea?
Orphea tu poznám. To je suseda moja.
You have finally returned home.
Home? You destroyed my home. Slaughtered innocents. Left peaceful realms in ruins. You broke your promise.
I will not be questioned. Return to the tower at once. Fine.
How could you?
Dead magic. I am beyond that power.
You're wrong. fight. I will never stop fighting you. For my family. For the realm. For the Nexus.
You really want to see what I can do?
To bude broken shit.
Oh my emojis budete mať.
Že netrolerik.
Impudent child.
Holy shit. To je přesně, vole, podle toho obrázku, ale.
Someone should probably stop us.
I'm Kevin from the Heroes Dev Team, and I'm here to announce your game.
Orphea isn't the only exciting update the team has for you. Check out the Heroes What's Next panel later today and the deep dive tomorrow for details on new content and new gameplay updates. In honor of Orphea, we thought it fitting to share her with our BlizzCon family. So Orphea is free for all BlizzCon attendees and virtual ticket holders.
Kedy dostal si rodinu zadarmo.
Enjoy Orphea, and we'll see you in the next.
Hogers, no.
Rozprávali, hej, že...
10 000 gold, no to je úplně...
Coming up is an update on one of my favorite games of all time, World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft.
Take over from Mike. We knew it was important to ensure that World of Warcraft has a leader who both understands the community as well as has a deep personal love for the game.
To je klasik tohle.
We didn't have to look far for such a leader. I've known John for many years. He joined the WoW team to work on Mists of Pandaria. He then moved to Diablo to help create Reaper of Souls. For the last 2 expansions, he's led much of the development on World of Warcraft as one of my partners. He has updates about Battle for Azeroth content.
Jo, ale to má vycházet, myslím, až 2019, ne?
What has turned out to be
Nebo nevím, jestli to bylo přímo k tomu.
your favorite ice cream flavors. BlizzCon, please introduce, or please welcome rather, the executive producer of World of Warcraft to the WoW stage, John Hyde.
Oznámený. To, že se dostanou do hry, to tam není napsané. Stejně jako gildy a takový kraviny, že? Co byly taky oznámený na BlizzCon.
Ok se tam seděl, jste ho viděli?
Jo. Já si představuji Oxho takhle, jak je teď na té stage. Nevím, nějaký týpek, co bude dělat asi. Počkej, tady je...
A to je místo toho Bazmeka, čo retiral neminulý rok. Či tento rok, nevím.
Ne, tak tam by měl být Ion, že jo, ale podle mě by ho sežrali zaživa.
Ion? Ne Ion, toto je... Jak sa volal? Jak sa volá?
Je, myslíš toho trola, jo?
sekundu nájde. Myslím, že hej.
Jo, je to Mecen, ten už...
Je to ten, čo on retired, tak on tam mal byť, že on je miesto neho. Čo myslím. Som dobre pochopil to predošlo.
Má pěkný půpek ten...
We saw the Alliance retaliation on Undercity. And the retaking of Lordaeron.
Už tak nemám rád tieto keci. Choď hneď veci, čo je nové, čo není nové. A nekece sa...
Čo není nové, to by sme tam byli dlouho.
And adorn their armies with the mythic power of Azerite. With a horde retrenched in Kalimdor and the Alliance gathering strength in Eastern kingdoms, the future of Azeroth lies in the balance. Alliance! The tides seem to be turning in your favor. The time to strike is now.
Rypnul off screen.
Will you press your advantage?
Spadnul do mého stormu.
Turn allies to strike the horde where they least expect it? Will you? Horde.
Tak si sa odmutal.
No, ne.
You suffered a great defeat in Undercity.
Som mutal za
No,
záležitosť.
tak ale vás počuť trikrát, tak nekecajte, ne?
Jak trikrát?
Will you stand by them as the Alliance comes to lay siege to their
Proč ne?
homeland?
Protože nemusí, tohle je zadarmo pro všechny.
To je jedno.
Okay.
You've been preparing for war, and now the war is here in Tides of Vengeance. It's been a little over a month since we began public testing for Tides of Vengeance. We've received a lot of great feedback, and we are hard at work polishing the game for both Alliance and Horde alike.
Čo tam kričal?
We can't wait for players to face our newest raid, the Battle of Dazara Lore. It's set in the Great Pyramid in the Troll capital city, and this is the first time ever in WoW that players will experience unique Horde and Alliance versions of the conflict.
Čekal nějakou odezvu.
We also have a new Dark
Yay, no my Morphron!
The Alliance will help the Night Elves
Ach,
reclaim
Bože!
while the Horde will continue Sylvanas' campaign of destruction. And Horde and Alliance assaults will bring the war to the shores of Kulturis and Zandalar. If you're wondering what lies in store beyond Tides of Vengeance, don't miss our What's Next panel on the Mythic stage later today. If you have questions, we also have a QA panel tomorrow, and that'll also be on the on the Mythic stage, and you can drop off your questions at the Dark Moon Fair. So, as World of Warcraft enters its 15th year, we reflect upon this game that has touched our imaginations, forged friendships, and, especially in my case, changed the very course of our lives. Last year, right here at BlizzCon, we announced that we are embarking on a journey to return to where it all began. And we're very excited to share our progress with all of you. Today, on the show floor, you can play WoW Classic.
Však tu už hrajú tí tipsy normálne. Ono,
you
na
can
streame.
download this demo using the virtual ticket. So you're probably wondering when you'll be able to play the full game. You have any guesses?
Jo, jinak má to být taky na subscribe a bude to, že si můžeš platit 2 wovka zároveň, no. Klasika to. Tak si mě mutni.
This is a great opportunity to experience the original gameplay. And if you never had a chance to play the game then, you should see how WoW was 14 years ago. You should.
Tak jako toho není nic novýho, že všichni čekají prostě nějaký trailer nebo prostě kongres oznámení a tohle prostě všichni čekají.
Je to sam 2019, čo je celkom close a tam bol potlesk, keby povedal, že rád som sa že troška si stratili záujem na ten klasik, čo sa nečudujem.
And recreating a game in a panel that we have called Restoring History, Creating WoW Classic, and it's tomorrow on the Mythic stage.
Chudák.
So despite our differences as champions of the Alliance and heroes of the Horde, one thing brings us all together, and that's the annual charity drive. This year, our charity pet is this little guy. That's Whomper. So we're proud to announce that this year's charity pet will go to support code.org. This is a nonprofit. It's a nonprofit dedicated to expanding computer science education in schools and increasing participation by women and minorities. We as a Warcraft community, as a Blizzard community, share these values, and we hope you consider adopting Whomper to support code.org. Okay, there's one more thing. World of Warcraft isn't just about epic battles and great gameplay. It's about mythology, the timeless heroes and the timeless stories and the heroes that move this world. So before I hand this off, I'm honored to present a special treat. An all-new cinematic for Battle for Azeroth.
Finally, ty vole. Na tohle všichni čekají.
Enjoy.
Oh my god, stromy tam sú.
That's the last of the soldiers. We'll be calling up farmers next.
When this war began, I thought we were fighting for peace. But we're just fighting.
You're doing all you can to stop her, Your Majesty.
At Lordaeron, you had the chance to take my life. Maybe even end the war. Why didn't you kill me?
Could kill you now.
I spared you because I believed you have honor. Was I wrong? Do you want more innocents to suffer? The Horde.
I have given everything for the Horde. Blood for it. it. Kill for it. And Sylvanas is destroying it. She will destroy everything. What I want is my horde back.
Saurfang, tell me why you spared my life.
I hoped you would stop her.
I can't. Not alone.
Oh my god, what is this?
Dlouhý trailer takzvaný.
Ale jak to hned na Hearthstone stage, fuj.
Já jdem na Kennyho stage.
Ryb zvuk.
Jsem si hledal, že já to mám utnuté. Tak radši změnili stage. Nikoho nezajímá, Zaťo, proč?
Je tam ještě začal volku? Respektive, kdy tam ještě začal volku?
Cinematic stačí, ne?
O volku už bude jenom na tom placeném panelu.
Can everybody hear the Overwatch arena? Awesome! I want to send a special shout out to all of our folks watching at home right now. All of us, every single one of us here, wishes we were hanging out with you right now. Because they're all logging in later tonight before us, and let's admit it, we wish we were. So before I start, I have a quick story for you. My nephew is in town for BlizzCon. And I was so excited. It's his second BlizzCon. And he says to me last night, he says, Uncle Jeff, I'm so excited for the new announcement. And I'm like, well, John, what do you think the new announcement's going to be? And he says, I really hope you announce that you're removing Moira from the game. I don't know. He must be a free-for-all deathmatch player. That's what I'm thinking. But it was an amazing year. I have to give a shout out to Overwatch League, culminating in the amazing grand finals, in New York City. It was so awesome. So awesome to be there. We're so proud of Overwatch League. We added a looking for group system so you can finally have a Zenyatta that actually wants to be playing Zenyatta on your team. We added an endorsement system, and I heavily recommend for that Reinhardt who actually uses the shield instead of charge, endorse him. He's a good teammate. We brought you to new locations like Rialto and Busan. And we had so much fun in Korea this year, bringing you the Diva animated short. And Retribution was fantastic. Watching you guys just crush that content and learn more about our characters like McCree and Reyes. It was so much fun for us. And we added a couple new heroes. We introduced Brigitte, and of course, Wrecking Ball, who you are all free to call Hammond all you want. We're happy for that. But there was one thing that I was most proud of the entire Blizzard community, and that was your contributions to Pink Mercy. We are so thankful and so proud of you all. You raised over $12.7 million. You literally have a chance of changing the world. Thank you so much for that. So as awesome as all of that stuff was this year, and how could I forget the Overwatch World Cup viewer and Lucy OOs? I know what everybody's having for breakfast tomorrow. But we like to come to BlizzCon to see new things, right? One of my favorite things about Blizzard and BlizzCon is the amazing work that the Story and Franchise Development Group does. These are the women and men who make the awesome Blizzard cinematics, and they are the same people who make the Blizzard animated shorts. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to present to you, directed by the amazing Jason Hill, our latest animated short, Reunion.
Len tak jeden kúsok koláča si dám.
To mám tu ten Kerrigan na té ruce.
Mám rodinko nezajímá.
Jesse McCree. Been a while. You promised you'd write.
Well, Ash. I've been kind of busy.
We're pretty busy ourselves, so it's awful convenient you showing up today.
Yeah. You never been one to shy away from a good tip.
Hey, we worked hard for this score. You best move on now.
All I want is that crate. Everything else is yours.
This crate? Huh. Bob. Well, well. Now you got my attention. What is it?
That's none of your business.
Well, as I see it, now it's very much our business.
Doesn't always have to be this way, Ash.
Apparently, it does.
Bo! Ja som sa zlakol skoro.
Is this Red Dead Redemption 3?
Sa bude začať diať? Aha.
A konec.
Nice.
Nový hrdina bude Bob asi. Jako je zatím víc cool než ta ženská.
Kámo, by ten IDR někoho zabít?
Nekaj sa nám do cinematikovky. Čo bude v tej krejte nejaký legendarický?
Sorry about that, Bob. No hard feelings.
Balení doutníky.
Untie me, McCree!
Say hi to the gang for me.
I will not be ignored! I'm gonna rebuild Bob, and I'm gonna have him rip off your other arm! Hey there, cowboy.
Welcome
Sup,
back,
bitch?
partner.
Howdy, partner.
How long have I been gone?
Far too long.
What happened?
Well, that's a story for another time. But I got a call. They're getting the band back together. They want me, but really, they need you.
Jesse, wait. What are you going to do?
I've got some business to attend to. Say hi to the monkey for me.
Monkey?
Scientist. Whatever.
That was Reunion. We hope you loved it. We had so much fun making that movie. One of the greatest parts about making a movie like that is we love creating new characters. And there's so many new characters in that movie. Lots of people to introduce you to. Members of the Deadlock Gang, the mysterious robot. And the whole time, we're thinking to ourselves, could one of those characters be the next hero in Overwatch? How cool would that be? But there's a lot in that movie. Like, for example, could it be that awesome Omnic sniper guy? He'd be a lot of fun. Like, we could make a really cool hero out of him. Or maybe one of the three triplets, or all of the three triplets. Like, they'd be cool. And those guys, you're going to study them, and you're going to learn a lot about them. And then, of course, there's Echo, the mysterious white robot that we all want to know more about. But I'm thinking Echo needs more time. We need to spend more time before we're ready for Echo. But what about Bob? I think Bob would be amazing. But to be honest, during the making of Reunion, we fell in love with one lady that stole the show. And I now give to you the 29th hero in Overwatch. Please enjoy.
Funny. They say there's no honor among thieves. But that's not how things work around here. If you cross me, or if you break your word, there'll be hell to pay.
Never both?
You can count on it. Let's clean up this mess. You wanna try me?
To je nový hero z Overwatchi, či čo to je? Jak sa volá?
Až. Ketchup.
Ketchup, ok. Z toho budú proste Pokémoni, ako...
Už jsou. Tam máš křečka v kouli.
Calling the shots. Bob, do something.
Oh, boogers. On je její ultina, podle mě. Když se zavolá Boba.
Please welcome to Overwatch, Elizabeth Caledonia Ash, the leader of the Deadlock Gang, McCree's old buddy. It looks like they're on rocky terms right now, I would say. Maybe they'll patch things up. She is an amazing character to play. Super high mechanical skill, which I know just between the small group of us and everybody at home is every one of you guys. Super high mechanical skill. That gun is so much fun to shoot. And she has Bob as an ultimate, which is just the best. And where do you see the skins we get to do for Bob and Ash? It's a lot of fun. So she's going to be great. You can learn all about Ash at the Overwatch What's Next panel. They're going to talk in depth about Ash.
The Pokemon
it's going to
first
be pretty
series.
amazing. But now there's a lot more BlizzCon to be had. I want to make sure that we have plenty of time for the other announcements. The next stuff is really, really exciting, and I'm super proud to hand it over to Pete Stillwell of Blizzard Classic Games. Give him a hand.
No, hele, že by remaster.
Howdy, BlizzCon.
Počkej, to vlastně bude Diablo, že ještě. A to ten Hearthstone, to už nebudou dávat.
As we've seen this morning, there are so many new experiences.
Jako tak klasik, do toho by spadl ten Diablo 2 remaster.
But we're also here to discuss one returning from our past. A few years ago, Blizzard started classic games around a simple idea. The world should always be able to play the games that helped lay our foundation. Luckily for us, sometimes that means we get to remaster one. Yeah. So, on behalf of your dedicated men and women of Classic, I am honored to present the return of another Titan.
Warcraft.
You never paid any heed to the ancient prophecy.
Holy shit.
Like fools, we clung to the old hatred.
Tohle je pokšampu, jako.
And fought as we had for generations.
Warcraft 4, ne remaster.
Byla by si asi stříká do gatí teď. Ty vole, to bude zase peněz.
Until the day the sky rained fire.
Jaké peněz, však sdělení, že z torrentu.
XD. Vypadá jak z anime, tyhle, ten Inferno.
We stand now upon the brink of destruction, for the reign of chaos has come at last.
Reforged.
Škoda, že Reforging už není ve Vovku, no.
To by chcelo pokračování, ale ne
remaster. Promise me you'll come by and give me that cheer every now and again. That's epic. Thanks,
víš co, tak jako třeba oni si tady vyzkouší ten engine novej a udělají 4.
16 years ago, Warcraft 3 found me. The art was vivid. The gameplay immersive. The stories kept me in their
grafika? Ty vole.
Warcraft 3 changed me. Because of this game,
jako já jsem zvědavý, jak to teda bude vypadat, ty vole. No?
To už tady fakt
je, no. Nevidíš tu ty nevidíš ten Nvidia Hairworks na Artosově autorovi, ty vlasy prostě, jak v real life. RTX si tam můžeš zapnout normálně, easy.
To je RFX, jak to nové.
RTX, what the fuck?
If you're lucky enough to be at BlizzCon
today, you don't have to Jaina náhodou?
Jaina, ty Jaina.
We've got the iconic culling playable here in our demo area. For those of you not familiar, in it you command Arthas as he and his forces purge Stratholme of undead taint. It's a really key moment in his ascension to becoming the Lich King. If you can't join us today, spoiler alert, yeah, sorry.
Čo? Spoiler.
You've got 16 years, people.
What the fuck?
If you can't join us today, don't worry. Our amazing Blizzard video team has got you covered. They put together some gameplay footage, and rather than wait, let's see it now. Yeah?
Holy shit, to jsem zvědavý, ty vole.
Oh my god, so much different. Jo, sleduješ ty koně? To je normálně v reálnom životě. To vyzerá jak Hocko, ne?
No, nevypadá to moc dobře teda jako v té hře.
Typu Joja, to tam vybučí, ne? To vyzerá dobré.
To jo, no. Jako ty modely vypadají všechny pěkně samostatně, ale ta hra celkově jako je taková... Nevím, no.
Jako zas... Možno keby to až moc zmenili, vieš, by to
no, jako
ztratilo
jo, no, ale...
ten charakter svoj.
Mně se nějak...
Ale čiž ma to nějak ako neoplnilo, no.
A ty Diablo nebo ten Hearthstone?
Že Diablo to ma jakž tak zaujíma. Ale tam, myslím, že Diablo už bolo povedané, že čo tam... Až na ale akože...
I would like to take a moment to really celebrate War 3 and what it's already been. I mean, it set the stage for World of Warcraft. A very minor footnote in its history. Warcraft 3 put Sylvanas on her path to becoming Queen of the Forsaken. And its soft drawl lead the Horde's exodus to new beginnings in Kalimdor. And it manipulated the hubris of young Arthas as he crossed that terrible threshold at Stratholme, ultimately leading to his destruction and his ascension to Lich King. And that's just the campaign, right? War 3 found millions of other players in other ways. Just like me, just like you guys. It changed us to competitive play. It forced us to think differently. We forged friendships and sparked rivalries between clans over Battle.net. It empowered creators with an editor to help them bring their own dreams to life. And their custom games gave rise to new genres. Yeah. So, whether you're a campaigner, a ladder champion, a custom gamer, or you'll be new to Warcraft 3 Reforged, we hope you seize this opportunity to be found, to be changed, and to be inspired. On behalf of the men and women of Classic, we thank you for giving us this grand opportunity and purpose. So thank you.
Too late. 16 years.
16 years.
The other really great thing is, you know, the love for Warcraft 3 is pretty universal around Blizzard, and that led us to what we're calling the Spoils of War edition. You can order that today. Pre-order that today, along with the standard edition at playwarcraft3.com. To tide you over until Reforged actually comes out, Spoils will unlock a bunch of great content across the other games. There's Diablo 3, Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, both StarCrafts, and, of course, World of Warcraft, which features a meat wagon mount. So, we did a little begging, and the World of Warcraft team actually made the wagon's catapult function. Yeah. Critters throughout Azeroth will come to fear your wrath.
Keď to budeš hrať, tak dostaneš mounta vo oku,
For Reforged itself, Spoils will include 4 unique skins, all playable across whatever type of gamer you are. My personal favorite gives Jaina a Warhorse so that she can become playable as Archmage in competitive play. Yeah, it's cool. If you want to dive deeper into everything else we have in store for Reforged, head over to playwarcraft3.com and join us today at 5:30 on the Mythic stage. The one and only Grubby will be hosting a few of our lead developers as we chat and see what's to come with Warcraft 3 Reforged. So
nějaká
I would
pauza,
like to jump back to Hearthstone. We've figured
A
out the
teď bych
mic
si
issues,
odešel,
so
protože to není nic.
please join me in welcoming
Diablo chcem
Mr.
vidět,
Ben
no.
Thompson.
Typujeme, hej, že mohlo by být Diablo 4, by som...
Jako oni říkali, že nebude prostě, takže...
Hej,
Bude prý nějaká mobilní hra. A možná remaster 2, ale to by asi řekli tady.
Welcome to the Mythic stage. To my Hearthstone family waiting for me back at the Hearthstone stage, keep a benchworm, I'll be right back. We just had to do a little thing. They saw how big this announcement was going to be for Hearthstone and they thought to themselves, we got to get them a bigger stage.
Ale jim nefunguje mikrák tam prostě asi nebo něco.
So in recap, the year opened with the Witchwood. As players took part in foiling the evil plots of Hagatha and her minions as they launched an all-out assault of spookiness on the
Ale
general
jako
town of
můžem říct, že docela se divím, ty vole, že to takhle jako přesunuli na jiný panel, jen tak jako za chvíli. To tak musím říct, to má dobře zorganizovaný.
Alongside and ultimately against the nefarious Dr. Boom.
No tak ještě uvidíme, zatím tam dali jenom logo Hearthstone, uvidíme, co jim tam všechno půjde.
It is during this time, the exploratory phase of the set, when the team is at their most fun. Whiteboards everywhere are covered with sketches and drawings and questions.
A ještě kdyby potom napsali, bude to lepší než 3.
Disco maybe in an old mage tower. Do we awaken
to horší než 3.
Perhaps. Ultimately, and here's the part you haven't heard yet.
Takže Titan
We
Quest,
wanted to
no.
celebrate the spirit of competition.
Právě? Ale je to horší než Diablo 3, že jo? Protože je to starší. O 10 let asi.
And the culture of an ancient civilization. So as we pull away the vines and cut away the undergrowth of a proud arena at the center of Stranglethorn Vale,
Trollové.
we ask you now, hey man, what you think
Are
about
you ready?
this?
No jo, trollové.
Trollololové?
A mi vyšlo vyprý to. A to nebudu spoilovat ten.
The only things a real troll desire. Push to smash and to mash and to bash and maybe mango. Here it's Stranglethorn, you'll be warned. My lord's gonna trust ya. Say a prayers with voodoo bashiba.
To nespěvaš ty náhodou, Majte?
Hej, man.
Too bad for you. It's only once a generation. One victor wins the confrontation. Standing here, got no fear. I'm the best in the arena. Man, you never seen a hero cut you down to zero. Victory is no joke. Careful at your door. Cloak. It's a star, it's our star is born.
No to budou loa prostě. Každá klasa bude mít loa hrdinu, myslím.
That's right, we're taking you back to the Gurabashi Arena to be a part of Rastakan's Rumble. Revisit the arena in its prime, when once a generation, trolls from across Azeroth gather their teams to fight on behalf of their Loa and for the glory of combat. We've been hearing for a while from our players, where's our
Prý má
trolls?
být nějaká paladinská karta, co stojí
And we thought it
25
was
many
high
a
time
tak.
to bring this proud people to the game of Hearthstone. So let's decide together, here and now, to reclaim just what it means to be a troll. We invite all of our fellow trolls out there, in fact, to close the forums for a bit. Set the keyboard down. That guy's still going to be wrong when you get back. Just pick up a spear and join us on the arena floor. Now, let's get down to business. Let's talk about some cards. The Hearthstone team would like to give you a brief glimpse into what we have in store for you in Rastakan's Rumble. And we'd like to start with a new keyword. Overkill. Overkill plays to the gladiatorial spirit inherent in the Rumble. As a grizzled competitor of the ring, you know that the way to a fan's heart is through a dramatic flourish.
Candlesticks s overkillem.
Basically, if you can deal more damage than you need to destroy a minion, you get a bonus. In Sulthrace's case, I'm going to say that clearly, you get to attack for as many as 3 more times in a single turn. Now, this kind of showboating is sure to draw the attention of more than a few fans. Fans that are so excited, they want to get in on the action themselves. Fans like this guy. Sharkfin Fan is a neutral minion who gives you a 1/1 pirate each and every time your hero attacks. Now you pair that with a weapon like Sulthrace, and you're going to get some board control, and you're going to get it fast. Now the 9 legendary champions at the head of each class or team
board control, mít jedna piráty.
Embody the powers of their animal god, or Loa, while in the arena. Each class also gets a spirit.
Prístka je ta,
The Spirit-Loa relationship is a very important part, integral part even, to the set that this occupies. Let's take a look at a spirit right now. Now, the abilities found in these spirits are each different, and they're very class-specific. They have a lot of similarities as well. They're all 0/3 minions. They all have stealth for 1 turn. And they're all rare, which means that you get up to 2 in a single deck, maximizing the opportunity for some serious shenanigans. Now, ultimately, spirits are just that. They are a spiritual manifestation of the Loa they represent. But this begs the question, what are Loa? Loas are powerful gods, usually animals, who are worshipped in the troll culture. By aligning yourself with one of them, according to your class, they will fight by your side and guide you to victory. Now you're probably asking yourself,
co Garn píše.
Ach jo. Paladin. You will be fighting
já taky no, ale teď jsem to odblokoval, jenom abych si to přečetl.
Shirvala the Tiger. Shirvala is a proud and noble Loa, not unlike the paladins who worship her. She's also incredibly powerful, power that comes at a cost. But consider the possibilities, if you will, if you've been investing your mana wisely on spells in the early game. Now, this is just the beginning. It's a brief glimpse into what's in store for you in Rastakhan's Rumble. There's a lot more to learn, and we're going to share a lot of it with you over the next 2 days. Later today, there's a panel with
jenže to je prostě strašně pozdě a nehodí se to moc do kontrol balíku.
And dig further into the expansion itself with Peter and Liv. They're going to take a look at a number of these classes that we mentioned and a number of the interactions of the cards found there. Tomorrow, the Hearthstone's missions team is going to walk you through just what it takes to make the single-player content in the game. More importantly, they're going to walk you through the single-player content for Rastakhan's Rumble.
A hlavně jakoby tohle menu, aby si chtěl spíš nějakým agru, že jo?
An upstart underdog troll who needs your help as he travels to the arena in search of the title of champion for himself. And finally, on the show floor here at BlizzCon, both days, you get to try a special tavern brawl that uses just some of the new mechanics introduced in the Rumble run itself. We are super excited for Rastakhan's Rumble, and we hope that you will join us when it releases on December 4th. But if you just can't wait, pre-purchase begins today. So until then, the Hearthstone team will ask you, which Loa speaks to you? Now I'd like to pass it to my personal spirit animal, the lead game designer, Wyatt Chang.
Počkej, že by si mohl vybrat tentokrát, co chceš za kartu?
Hello, BlizzCon! BlizzCon, we love
On má Diablo tričko.
We love the way
Mobile game PogChamp.
Ale ne, tak Kenny, víš, jak to funguje, máš Fallout 4 a pak máš co? Fallout 76, takže dejte mi třeba Diablo 98, mě to je jedno. Dejte mi další. Ale a teď mobile game, nějaká sračka. No jo, to vidíš, ale Diablo Battle Royale na mobilu. Kámo, čum na to tam bude normálně.
Diablo game. Because nothing brings a family together like slaying demons.
Jo, ale my to nechceme moc hrát jako na mobilu, týpku.
But we want to do it in a way that's true to Blizzard. Putting gameplay first. We want to do it in a way that feels right for Diablo.
Dobrý, no.
We are making a full
A to bych se zahrál, jako. Rozhodně spíš bych se hrál na volantu než na mobil.
Everywhere with everyone. Now I have a cinematic to show you, but first, allow me to set the stage. At the end of Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction, Baal had corrupted the World Stone. The World Stone is an object of immense power. It has the power to create worlds. The World Stone was used to create Sanctuary. Baal, one of the primevals, had corrupted the World Stone.
Personal mobile.
Threatened to echo through all of humanity, turning humans evil and violent. The Archangel Tyrael, knowing this, made the sacrificial decision to use his legendary blade Eldruin to shatter the World Stone. What happens next? Let's roll the cinematic.
What happens next? Pocket 3.
Začnou padat mobily z neba.
Jo, dobrý. Z toho Worldstoneu padají mobily.
Jo.
The World Stone. It was the power of creation and the birth of our eternal conflict. From the high heavens to the burning hells, our desire to control that power poisoned its very nature. And so, I gave my life to destroy it. But its corruption.
Is this cinematic?
Pome, Whirlwind. Heroic Leap.
Ježišmarja, trou, ty vole. Jaký plebil. Mimink? Hoggers?
To je Barbarian Carry. Jo.
To je Ancestor Skull, ne? Oh! To byl asi Heroic Leap, ne?
If humanity is to survive, they must stand together and face the rising darkness.
To je Path of Exile?
Jo. Ale tahle hra už byla, to je 3.
That may not be enough.
May not be enough? To je sad.
Prosím pěkně, však to prý expení ho zabije. Diablo
Ale mně přijde, jak kdyby rebootovali trojku prostě.
We are so excited about this game. Diablo Immortal is our chance to explore 20 years of untold stories
Doom je Eternal.
In between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. What happened to Tyrael after the explosion of the World Stone? What was Deckard Cain up to during this time? Why did Malthael abandon heaven? I want to be there for the founding of the Demon Hunters and the golden age of Westmarch. We'll have new stories for beloved characters. We've partnered with NetEase to create Diablo Immortal. NetEase has been a close partner of Blizzard for almost 10 years, and their passion, dedication, and expertise have allowed us to bring Diablo to mobile. Now, I know what you're thinking. You want to see some gameplay. So up next, let's have a look at what Diablo Immortal looks like in action. Let's roll it.
Tohle bude asi jedna z her od Blizzardu, kterou hrát nebudu.
Já už ne, prosím, pak nezapočíš výsrať a si to budeš zapíš na mobile. Za 20 € si to koupíš, víš, jako?
No, za 20. A ještě subscription tam bude. To je trojka na mobilu, ty vole.
Bude taký mix jednotky, dvojky a trojky na mobile.
A mně to přijde jak trojka prostě v mobile engineu, no.
A keďže je to mobil hra, tak pay to win chujovinky. Microtransaction.
Tohle ne, jako hele. Jo, ale tak prostě kdyby vzali tohle, dali to na počítač, prostě udělali 4. Počkej, ale tam chybí, ne? Tam není ani Witch Doctor. No nejsou lidi, je tam. Tam chybí 2 klasy, ne?
No víš, doktor.
A ještě někdo ne chybí.
Myslím, že ne, iba víš, doktor.
No byly tam ty 2 nový. Že jo, byl tam Necromancer a Crusader.
Crusader tam byl právě.
No právě, ty jsou ty 2 nový, že jo, základní Diablu bylo jich teda jen 5.
Nepřijde, že iba
víš, doktor tam chýbal. New skills for you to master.
Byl tam Demon Hunter, byl tam Wizard, Barbarian, hej, byl výborný tam, je, víš, doktor.
For those of you who are here at BlizzCon, thank you. We are going to have, we welcome you here to BlizzCon, and there has never been a better time to be part of this incredible Blizzard community. We have a demo of Diablo Immortal playable here on the show floor in Hall D. And for those of you watching at home, visit DiabloImmortal.com for more information about Diablo Immortal. There has never been a better time to explore everything that Blizzard has to offer here at BlizzCon and alongside the rest of this incredible Blizzard community.
Pre-register now.
as you wander the show floor, take time to say hi to those of us here at BlizzCon. Everybody at BlizzCon wearing the blue crew shirts at Blizzard would love to say hello.
Ako neviem, ako zas by som povedal, že až moc veľa by toho bolo. Podľa mňa budúci rok na BlizzCon bude.
Make friends, and have an epic BlizzCon. Thank you.
This concludes our opening ceremonies. Mythic Stage's panel
Ale stačilo prostě to logo.
Hej no, a možno by tam dali, že 2032, ale vieš, bolo by tam Diablo 4.
Oko, teď se jde na Martin Novotný stream. Jo, počkej, takže teď ani není nic zajímavého teda. V podstatě. Jako to Diablo, jakože neříkám, že to vypadá špatně na mobilní hru, jako vypadá to dobře na mobilní hru, jako tak zase ne, ale je to prostě mobilní hra.
Hej, no.
Ale bude oznámená příští rok, to mě právě sere, že jo. Kdyby to oznámili teď, tak teoreticky, bych si řekl, 2020 na začátku by to mohli vydat.
Ešte typujem, že prosím, to budeš potrebovať net mať zapnutý, aby si obež tu Diablo 3 mohol hrať na tom.
To pro.
Fuck that. Keby to bolo ozaj, že by si tam mal šancu to hrať single player bez netu, tak akože by som to stiahol, keby to bolo free a...
Počkej, vlastně tam má být i ten, že příběh. Ale jako mi to fakt přijde jako prostě trojka napasovaná do mobilu, no. Což jako asi není to prostě zas tak hrozný, jako jo, ale já doufám, že to trošku, že to trošku posunou, jako. Ještě s tím, že jsou to ty samý prostě klasy. Jako mi se třeba líbilo, jak tam skákala po tom provaze, že jak se změnil ten pohled, to bylo cool, ale to bych prostě chtěl vidět v počítači, že jo, takovýhle inovace. Dobrý, viď? XD.
Ideme one, HC Raid?
Vysíláno živě tady asi. Asi jo, koukáš na blízko na takový kraviny a teď se koukáš na ten svůj stream. Hele, Follow Gruby streamuje Warcraft 3 Reforged. Takhle to vypadá docela líp teda, upřímně. Tohle nevypadá špatně.
If there's something you like, don't.
Akorát se mi nelíbí ten Arthas prostě, to tam jak je.
Hail, it's about time.
The goal was to make a series of beers that pays homage to StarCraft and all the other existing titles in that universe. Try to create something from the game and bring it into the real world.
We're gonna do beer that'll go in can,
so
power overwhelming, which is gonna be an IPA.
Ale je to malý, no. Ale je to tam, myslím, je tam nějaký tajchus, je tam byl nebo co. Teď už je to dobrý. Ono to je, tam je delay.
Is a tart blender and we decided to add blueberries and raspberries to give it that zerg purple hue. We wanted to go with more of a
jako mně se nelíbí ten 3D model toho Arthase a to je, jinak je to cool docela.
And then the last beer is our Stimpack Stout. And that one is a coffee stout that also has a little bit of smoked malt to simulate Terrence.
Počkej, jsou tam 3D modely všech těch jednotek,
We bring to it a lot of work we've done on StarCraft typography, a lot of design elements that we want to carry over to a project like this.
We want to make sure that every element of what we're doing here represents our standard of quality, and so that's true of the label as well.
We've brewed a couple test batches.
Tak toto byla hra teda.
The response has been overwhelming.
Zapni si Grubyho.
Pozeráte toho Grubyho? Vyzerá to dost hnusně.
Ale vypadá to docela jako OK.
Ne, to vůbec nevím.
When I start getting into costume, the excitement starts to set in. The feelings of that.
To je strašně náročné, však jemu jak to zlaguje, ne? Ty se nevím teda, co tam má.
No, říkal, že to je špatně optimalizované.
And I felt like doing that today, even though I can't do a British accent at all.
Don't worry, loves. Cavalry's here.
Ten 3D model je to nejhorší podle mě na tom, jako fakt, to se tam vůbec ne.
All battery looks better. Takže čo mi napísal Gusto, no. Krásný změny v hocku, jak dlouho to ještě vydržíš hrát, než to zmažeš navždy? Čemu dávat XP za forty? Pojďme se mlátit na mít celou hru. Bez many a CD. No jinak to jsem zvědavý, jak to bude, jakože, to jak si představuju.
Tam máš ty katapulty, že jo?
No jasně, ale jsem zvědavý, jakože jak to bude fungovat. Jdeme se vykrcat něco.
Nevím, já si upřímně myslím, že měli tenhle rok smazat shared expy, nebo to nějak upravit.
That the people put into it and the fact that they love our properties and our games so much is pretty impressive, and it's what makes me like coming to work every day, is to see the fans showing how much they appreciate what we do. To me, cosplay is a love letter from the fans and cosplayers back to Blizzard, and this book is the return of that. This is Blizzard's love letter to cosplay. I can't tell you how many times at work I've had artists come up to me and thank me for bringing their designs to life. And to have this being given back to the community is incredibly special.
Welcome to Diablo What's Next?
Hello, everybody. Hello, BlizzCon. Welcome to the Diablo Immortal What's Next panel. My name is Wyatt Chang. I'm the lead designer on Diablo Immortal, and I'm joined by two senior designers from the Diablo Immortal team.
Hi, I'm Chris Zerhut, a senior designer on Diablo Immortal.
Hi, everybody. I'm Matthew Berger, also a senior designer.
All right, let's get started. Diablo Immortal takes place in between the events of Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction, and Diablo 3. At the end of Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction, we saw the World Stone get destroyed.
At the beginning of Diablo 3, we see Tyrael falling from heaven. How do we get from the Shattered World Stone to the falling star? And what else is going on? There's a full 20-year gap between these two events where all kinds of things are happening in Sanctuary.
What was Deckard Cain doing prior to taking a young girl named Leah under his care? We know a bit about his time with her, but what happened during the years before that?
What about Magda and Adria? What kind of schemes were they up to? How about the formation of the Demon Hunters? You'll journey with a young Vala and see her being trained by her master, Joseph.
And of course, let's not forget about Baal, the Lord of Destruction. Baal's corruption and his corrupting essence had corrupted the World Stone, and knowing this, Tyrael shattered the World Stone.
When the World Stone was shattered, it wasn't completely destroyed. Fragments of the World Stone survived, and they were scattered throughout Sanctuary. Wherever they landed, corruption and death followed. And you guys are going to go there. In Diablo Immortal, at launch, we will have 8 public zones for you to explore. We're going to go from the jungles of the Baal Fen to the desert of the Shassar Sea, from the tomb of Fahir to the cold wastes of the frozen tundra.
Now, for those of you who heard, Matthew said at launch. It is our plan to have Diablo Immortal be an ongoing game.
All right, let's have a look at some of these zones. Let's start with the Baal Fen. The Baal Fen is filled with everything to ruin your day, from mostly abandoned, ancient, semi-hunted temples to giant mosquitoes, maggots, fallen, and over-aggressive fetish monsters.
Here you'll help the leader of Port Justinian deal with that fetish problem, meet a mysterious wizard, and help a scholar in distress.
Now, Sanctuary is huge, and you're going to be going to some new zones, such as the Baal Fen, and then also returning favorites, such as the frozen tundra.
The frozen tundra is located next to Mount Ariat, close to the location where Tyrael shattered the World Stone.
The devastation of the World Stone and of Mount Ariat is merely 5 years old. It is a fresh scar on this land and on the barbarian people. Now, the frozen tundra is a harsh land. Surviving here is a struggle against nature in the very best of times, and these will not be the best of times, far from it. From the frozen tundra, we go to the desert. We go to Zoltan Kuhl's library. This ancient repository of knowledge is replete with powerful artifacts and the many traps that are there to keep them out of prying hands. You think it's going to be the real Zoltan Kuhl there?
No, no.
What do you think?
Some kind of imposter?
An imposter Zoltan Kuhl, really? You think so? I don't think so. Wyatt?
Imposter Zoltan Kuhl?
In the library? Is this, have we been here before? I feel like we've been here before.
These are not the same Ark library as we visited in Diablo 3. This is a new area. Zoltan Kuhl actually had a number of archives stashed across all of Sanctuary, and this is a previously unvisited one.
So what you're saying is that Zoltan Kuhl is some sort of magical hoarder. All right.
He has archives all over the place.
All right. The Mad Mage himself is not going to be present within this library. However, as is always the case with him, Zoltan Kuhl has left behind suitably dangerous defenses. In fact, he has left behind the kind of defenses that only a true egomaniac would employ.
And caught in the middle of it all is a family of unfortunate thieves who thought they could make a good score, and some cultists trying to get their hands on a Worldstone shard. It's a recipe for disaster, so the perfect place for you to vacation.
When you come for a Worldstone shard, but you stay because everything's trying to kill you.
All right, so these are the shared public outdoor zones that you'll be able to see in Diablo Immortal. As you wander the outdoor world, you have the opportunity to come across other players. These types of shared, organic interactions change the texture of your game.
World of Warcraft players will probably remember the first time they fought Hogger. You got in over your head, you probably died a few times, but then some other players showed up. You joined forces, Hogger died, you got sweet loot, and you made some new friends along the way. That's the experience you want for Diablo Immortal.
So we have the shared outdoor zones, but sometimes you want a more intimate experience. So we also have the instanced dungeons. These are 4-player experiences for you and some close friends. Let's have a look at these starting at the Kikarus Rapids.
The Kikarus Rapids, deep within the Biofed. This river snakes its way through a jungle brimming with monstrosities, from bog lurkers to the aforementioned horrible little fetish creatures that I really, really hate and don't ever want to play against ever again.
You mean these guys here?
Yeah, I don't like them.
These guys, I think, are the best. They remind me of playing D2 and making my way through the jungles outside Kurast.
No, fetishes really are the worst.
Yeah, they're the worst. And you know what would make this even worse?
More fetishes.
Okay, put a pin in that. What would make this even worse is standing on a rickety piece of wood, going down a river towards a certain horrific watery grave, while these tiny little demons are trying to fill you with their darts or gently donate their swords to you, pointy end first.
How kind of them.
How kind of them.
All right. How about something more pleasant? Something quieter. Maybe a tomb. Tombs are nice. No fetishes, no rapids.
No rapids.
The Tomb of Fahir. It's skeletons, it's spiders, it's treasure room, not a treasure chest, not a measly little treasure chest, a treasure room. A room brimming with golden glowing treasure chests filled with loot. A room defended by mummies, maybe on fire. But that's not going to stop adventurers such as yourselves. Mummies on fires, no panic. But I get it. Sometimes we want simpler things in Diablo, quieter things. Diablo quiet, a dark tower perhaps, some cultists, a few rogues.
I know where you're going. We are also going to the Forgotten Tower. Many of you will remember the Forgotten Tower from Diablo 2. Except in Diablo 2, you slayed the Countess, and yet activity still brews here. And Diablo Immortal will be our opportunity to go back and see what has gone awry.
You know, in the next panel, we talk about the Countess.
We'll have a sneak peek at what the Countess has been up to in the Forgotten Tower. So we've talked about the shared public zones, and here we have instance dungeons that are set aside for you and your party. It gives us a chance to do different things. In the outdoor world, the monsters respawn after a period of time, but in the instance dungeons, the monsters stay dead.
This allows us to create a custom experience designed for 4 players with tougher monsters and bosses with fight mechanics designed to challenge you.
All right, we've talked about the shared public zones, the instance dungeons, but what we really need to bring a game to life is a capital city. In much the same way that World of Warcraft has Orgrimmar and Stormwind, we have Westmarch.
Westmarch is the perfect choice for a capital city for Diablo Immortal. Before this, the only time we've seen Westmarch is at the beginning of Reaper of Souls. And at that point, the city is under assault by Malthael's forces. Much of Westmarch is either rubble or in flames. However, in the timeline of Diablo Immortal, Westmarch is still a thriving, vibrant, lively capital city.
Let's take a look at some Westmarch concept art. In Westmarch, you can visit with some NPCs, go shopping, or maybe just examine your stash. But it's also a place where you can find and meet other players. Westmarch will be a hub of activity. It's the kind of shared, online, public space where you could be wandering around and run into a player wearing some awesome gear you've never seen before.
That's right. So far we've talked about shared public zones, we have instance dungeons, and we have a capital city. And I know what many of you would also like to be able to see is to have a look at the classes and how the game plays. To prepare, we've put together a short video so you can see what Diablo Immortal classes look like in action. All right, so those are the 6 classes we'll have at launch for Diablo Immortal. But Diablo Immortal is a game that we hope to expand over time through live content patches. So we hope to add additional classes over time.
And since I actually have the stage, I get a vote. So I would like to see in future, I would like to see the Assassin. She was my favorite in Diablo 2. I want to play the Assassin again.
My favorite?
Assassin! Oh! The people have spoken!
My favorite in Diablo 2 was the Necro. But for Diablo Immortal, I would love to see a Witch Doctor.
All right, so we do look forward to being able to add additional classes over time, and we'll listen and be following the conversation in the community to see what players are looking for and what makes sense. So we've taken a look at the classes, but I'm sure a lot of you are wondering how it controls. And at Blizzard, one of our values is control is king. And we always knew that one of the challenges in bringing a game like Diablo to mobile was always going to be the controls.
Before it can feel like Diablo, it really has to play like Diablo.
Implementing a virtual control stick in mobile is really tricky and hard to get right. To be honest, I was pretty skeptical we could even pull it off. But we did. For those of you here at BlizzCon, go play the demo. Playing is believing.
Okay, Chris was right. Getting movement right is tricky. But moving is only an excuse to get to the enemy. That's where the real fun begins. Being on a touchscreen device gives us new opportunities for controls in Diablo Immortal. For the first time in a Diablo game, you will be able to move and aim your skills at the same time.
So here's how it works. In the video, you can see a wizard using a skill called Chill Wind. When you place your thumb down, we create a small targeting control right on the skill button. This allows you to aim the skill while it's being charged up. You put your thumb down, and you start to build up in damage and additional range. You can move, aim, and when you've got the enemy in your sights, release your thumb to just unleash wintry fury all over the enemy.
In addition to charging up skills, you can also aim them or just activate them in a more traditional manner. Here we have an example of a barbarian using Furious Charge and aimed ability, and then following it up with Whirlwind and activated one. To use Whirlwind, just tap the button and then move around the screen using the normal movement controls.
Now, it wouldn't be a new Diablo game without a few new abilities. And here we have the wizard using Lightning Nova. Lightning Nova creates a circle of bolts that travel out in all directions and then return back to you. Now, if you've moved in between, the bolts actually travel back to your new location.
Lightning Nova is a ton of fun to use in all kinds of situations. But if you really want to see it shine, combine it with a mobility skill like Teleport, and an expert player can deal devastating damage.
I want to see that again.
Yeah.
Was that you or was that Caleb?
It wasn't me, it was Caleb.
It was Caleb?
Yeah.
Good job.
Much better than me.
All right, so all classes in Diablo Immortal have 12 or more skills. And you'll be able to choose 5 of those skills to equip on your hotbar in the active ability section at a time.
New Diablo game, new skills, new gameplay, new gear, of course, cool looking gear. So here we have some early concept work for 2 of our classes, the Barbarian and the Wizard, showing their gear progression.
And of course, we'll have legendaries. We love the way Diablo 3 legendaries change the way you play, and we'll carry forward that great customizable gameplay into Diablo Immortal.
I love the way the wizard on the bottom row in the right looks, really proud of herself for having the best gear.
Yeah,
Like,
she's really proud. Except she's over there for everybody else.
Diablo Immortal is a social game, so we're adding social features to Diablo Immortal as well. When you log in and connect your Battle.net account, all of your friends will be right there waiting for you.
This means you could be playing Diablo on your phone while chatting with your friend who's about to start a WoW raid, or message your buddies who are busy in Overwatch to tell them to hurry up and finish so they can come and help you kill a boss in Diablo Immortal.
Now, as we mentioned in the opening ceremonies, we've partnered with NetEase Games to make Diablo Immortal. At this time, I'd like to invite a few folks to join us here on stage. Please join me in welcoming them. From Blizzard Entertainment, this is Joe Su, senior producer. And from NetEase Games, Liang, studio general manager. Wang Peng, lead designer. Wu Bo, lead artist. And Wang Jiahang, lead engineer. The studio general manager has prepared a few words that he would like to share.
大家好，非常兴奋能够站在这里。 我们和今天参加暴雪嘉年华的所有玩家一样，我们都是暴雪游戏的粉丝，也是《暗黑破坏神》系列游戏的粉丝。
Just like those of you here at BlizzCon, we're all big fans of Blizzard games, especially Diablo.
所以，当我们的团队得知我们将要和我们长期合作伙伴暴雪游戏一起开发这样一款伟大作品的时候，我们都感到非常的兴奋和激动。
Everyone on the team was thrilled to learn about the opportunity to collaborate with our longtime partners at Blizzard on creating the next Diablo game.
暗黑破坏神不朽对于我们来说就像梦想成真一样，所以我们这份激动与热情将伴随着我们整个游戏的开发过程。
Diablo Immortal is a dream come true. The team's excitement and energy is deeply infused into the entire development process.
就像 White 刚才提到的，目前这个项目呢，正在由《暗黑破坏神》系列的忠实粉丝所组成的中美两大团队一起来研发。目前这个项目正在紧锣密鼓的研发过程中。
Just as Wyatt said, Diablo Immortal is being developed by two passionate groups of Diablo fans, and we combine to form one amazing team.
我们希望也相信，通过这次合作，可以给全世界的玩家带来一款高品质的《暗黑破坏神》系列游戏。同时呢，在这次嘉年华的现场，我们也准备了试玩版，希望大家可以喜欢。
We're very eager to bring you an awesome game very soon, and we hope you enjoy the demo on the show floor.
最后，让我仅代表《暗黑破坏神不朽》的开发团队，感谢大家的支持，也希望在不久的将来，我们可以相约在庇护之地，一起结伴组队杀敌。谢谢大家。
On behalf of the Diablo Immortal development team, we would like to thank you, and we look forward to vanquishing evil with you in the world of Sanctuary. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. The passion that NetEase has for Diablo shows every day, and the partnership is going well. At this time, we have some time for questions. I think over here on my left, there should be Brandy, our community manager. Brandy?
She's there. I can see her. She's
okay, awesome.
I can see her.
And then over here on the right, we have Caleb, senior producer on Diablo Immortal.
Shall I ask her?
Let's go ahead and have him go first. Somebody pick a side.
Okay.
I picked this side.
Over here? Come on up.
I lost.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey. I want to know what happened to Druids.
What happened to Druids?
You guys skipped Druids in Diablo 3, and you guys skipped it in Diablo Immortal.
Well, we are planning on adding additional classes over time. So, you know, Matthew got a vote, Chris got a vote, you have a vote. It's kind of a three-way tie. We'll see what happens next.
My World of Warcraft main's a Druid, so.
Oh, I see. I see how it is.
So how long has Diablo Immortal been in development, and how is it affecting other Diablo projects?
Well, you may or may not have heard.
You want to take that one, or you want me to take it?
It's almost kind of memeable at one point, right? That we have multiple Diablo projects in the works. Diablo Immortal has been an idea we've talked about for a long time. We've been working with NetEase for almost 10 years. They work with Blizzard for all of our games, and we're super excited about it.
I like Druids.
Okay, my question is, do you have a time frame on when we will see this?
When it's ready, when it's done.
The usual answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bounce over. Caleb, did we have a question on the side as well? Sorry about that.
Hey, so when you guys were showing off the sizzle reel for the classes, it started off with like a really high poly, hair-flowing model that didn't appear to be in the game. Are those in cinematics, or was that just for that trailer?
The trailer actually, those are in-game models, and they're rendered cinematically using a cinematic camera, and that is the game running on a mobile device.
Are they going to appear any other time during the game, or is it just like a character select kind of thing?
Those particular sequences that you saw are character selection. And actually, if you go play the demo, you can see them running. We have the demo running here, and those same sequences are available to watch.
Awesome. Thanks.
You're welcome. Monk.
Oh, yeah, Monk. There you go.
The armor progression you showed, is that going to be a straight linear, or will the different pieces of gear supply a different model of armor on the skeletons?
This is for one of you guys.
So definitely our plan is that all kinds of different legendary items can have their own unique look and not be part of a set. So it's going to depend on what legendary items you're wearing that ultimately determines what your character looks like.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm just the greeter.
Love the cosplay.
This side.
Hi, guys. My question is, as a theory crafter, is there going to be anything for like a skill tree, skill set, or anything like that where we'll be able to dig in and kind of customize how the spells will work for us as a player?
Yeah. We're still working out all of the systems. Unfortunately, we're still too far out to be able to say for sure, but we do want there to be some nitty-gritty to dig into.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wish I had more to say at this time.
We love customizability, so you'll find it somehow.
Yeah.
Hi, Lord Fluffy, face of Diablo. I was curious.
Fluffy.
I was curious. I see a lot of mechanics that we've kind of been begging for in Diablo 3 in this. Is there any plans to make this playable on PC, or is this strictly mobile forever?
Are there any? The current plan is to be on mobile, both Android and iOS. We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC. Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
You can play on your tablet too.
Yes, it's also on the Switch. You're right.
Hello.
Hi.
My question is how hard can the content be in this game? A lot of players like to go on Infernal mode, hardcore, stuff like that. So how hard can we expect the difficulty curve to get in this game?
I think it's a little early for us to give a definite answer, but I think the best way to look at it is this is a true Diablo experience, and we want to make sure that that's the case. So, do you have anything else you want to add on top of that?
No, I think that's accurate. I mean, I think we are looking to make sure that the game is challenging, and I think one of the nice things about Diablo is that in many regards, there's portions of the game that are a little bit easier, and then there's portions of the game that are harder. And I think when you look at many action RPGs, depending on your mood, you want to be able to engage with content that fits.
Play pretty much extensively hardcore mode. Is there any chance that we might see that in this version?
Hardcore. So we're excited about bringing Diablo to mobile. The reality is that we're not sure that mobile platform is ready for the sort of hardcore situation where a disconnect or something could cause you to lose your character. That said, we do like the high-stakes nature of hardcore. If there's something on the line, or if there's something you could be excited about, if it's not just, I lost 30 seconds or something because I died, I think finding ways to make the play sessions meaningful for you to care about dying or not dying, I think we'll look at those types of mechanics to make sure that there's, stakes. But hardcore itself, I think, is still an open question for us, but we're not sure. It's great that we can be on mobile and provide like a top-tier Diablo experience, but hardcore, we'd have to wait and see.
Thank you.
Hey, just was wondering, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
No, it's a fully fledged Diablo experience on mobile, which everybody will get to play. and hopefully which will bring new heroes to Sanctuary, as well as welcoming our community back into it, and something we're very excited about.
I should say we're super excited about Diablo Immortal. We brought Diablo to consoles, PC, Xbox, PlayStation. We're gamers. Everyone at Blizzard is gamers. We play games on all platforms, and we're really excited about making a new Diablo game for mobile.
And the other thing is, the other thing to keep in mind is that every time we've launched a new Diablo game, especially on a new, on a new format, on a console, every time we've improved the experience, and we brought that back to all the other versions of Diablo. So when we went on console, we brought things back on PC, we then improved both of them. The world of Diablo is vibrant. This is one of the best times to be part of this community, and I think the future is, while not bright because Sanctuary is bleak, the future for you is going to be awesome.
All right, we have time for about one or two more questions.
No, we have time for one question. It's got to be fast.
Okay, well, this is going to be a good question then, because it's about why it's going to mobile.
Okay.
In particular, the majority of the games are PC-oriented with Blizzard, Hearthstone being one of the other mobile games. Why bring it to mobile? Are you trying to reach a new audience of players?
We're always trying to reach a new audience. We always want more people to join the Blizzard community. We want more people to come to BlizzCon, more people to play Diablo. And this is a great opportunity for that, and we're very excited about it.
Play Diablo anytime, anywhere, with anyone. Sounds pretty awesome to me.
Yeah, I would say that our mobile phones are actually super powerful supercomputers. I think we treat them, for social media and text messaging, but they can do so much more than that. If you look at the technical specs on a mobile phone today and compare to supercomputers from just 5 years ago, like, we're walking around with full-fledged gaming devices in our pocket, and we want to make a full-fledged game for mobile.
All right, so unfortunately we are running out of time, but we have another panel tomorrow. When is it, Wyatt?
It's at 5:45 tomorrow. You can join Matthew and I here on the Mythic stage. We'll talk more about Diablo Immortal, the world, the story, the history leading up to the events, since this game does take place in between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3.
Okay, but this is deceptive because it's missing something. What else are you going to be talking about during that panel?
Was it the characters?
Yeah.
Oh, and some skills.
And some skills. And some new skills.
All right, yes.
More
we'll have more.
Don't forget the Countess. You promised the Countess.
Yeah, and the Countess.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody, and have an epic BlizzCon.
Thank you for attending Diablo What's Next. Coming up, Overwatch What's Next.
Před kanónu prostě, to se jim bugne prostě něco.
A tak oni to možno majú tak nabehané, tie rany, že takým spôsobom, že sa im tam nemá čo bugnúť, vieš. A tak možno niečo, hej.
No, já říkám, že si myslím, že se jim 100%.
Koľké hodiny tak už?
I'm Darren DePaul, and you're watching the Blizzard Vault series. Let's go check out some legendary treasures with the Vault's librarian and archivist, Joanna Perez. Let's do it now! Are you on the lookout to add to the Vault?
Right now, I'm looking towards esports and events like
Overwatch
collecting items that tell the history of the event, so that people in the future can look back and reflect on how it started, the early beginnings of esports here at Blizzard.
That's amazing.
My name is Kiki Day, and I'm a project coordinator on the esports team at Blizzard.
What is this adorably cute, wonderful masterpiece that we're looking at right now?
So you are looking at Pajamather, which is a costume I did for BlizzCon 2014. And this skin is from the Heroes of the Storm game. My understanding is this was actually an April Fool's joke. They launched the skin on April 1st, and it turns out the community really likes aliens in pajamas, so they kept it.
What did you make him for?
I'm very much into cosplay, and when I saw that skin, I knew I just had to make it.
What was it like wearing this around BlizzCon?
I think a lot of people were just surprised. They figured I would have made it and sort of stood alongside it, but I was actually rolling around the convention inside of this thing.
So why do you cosplay?
I like to make art. I love the joy that it brings others,
Myslíte, že vyhrá ten
and to
BlizzCon?
see characters brought to life is just next level.
Why did you donate this to be
Ne,
on
Overwatch.
display on our campus?
I decided, you know, how about instead of having him
Myslíš,
in
Hocko?
my crafting room and collect
Hocko je dignitas nebo Genji, jako to.
to Blizzard, where people can enjoy.
Tam mi jako nemůžeš říct, kdo oni proti sobě nehráli, že jo? Zatím, takže jako kdo ví, jako
Já vím. Genji for the win.
Já bych řekl, že pokud Genji budou mít výhodu toho zápasu, tak vyhrajou. A pokud budou mít Dignitas, tak bych řekl, že možná vyhrajou jako Dignitas. Ale myslím si, že když budou mít Genji výhodu toho zápasu, tak jako na 90% vyhrají. Já si myslím, že ten zápas, ta výhoda toho zápasu bude strašně důležitá tady.
So what is this amazing item that we're looking at here today?
This is actually a live full-scale replica of Urel's hammer from Heroes
Kdo
of
ví,
the
třeba
Storm,
Genji neprojde, nebo Dignitas, to třeba je shutdown, Miracle, nebo... A tak jako... No ten Postorm asi ne, ale ty Heroes Hard, ne? Ty by teoreticky mohli někoho dát shutdown.
So who made this and how was it made?
This was made by a company called Henchman Studios, and I believe it's made out of different resins and epoxies. There's a steel rod that goes all the way through. The paint on the gem is actually like automotive paint, so that it can get that nice iridescent sheen really well.
A teď nejde na tom koukat, protože tady není nic zajímavého.
We had plenty of heroes that you could play as from the history of World of Warcraft lore and Warcraft lore, but we hadn't really done a battleground that showed off the history of World of Warcraft and our love.
Už se nedá pozerať tá hra úplne, s tom slovem, sa mi tam točí hlava, však tam sa deje toľko vecí naraz, tam necháme k tomu niekto komentovať vôbec, však to je strašný chaos. Neustály brawl. Tak ako však je, ale všetky špatné hry sú populárne. Hocko ne.
Je Kenny, za pre-order Hearthstone packu máš Rastakan hit. Ne, ale za tu předobjednávku, jak byl Mecha Jaraxus, tak teď budeš mít Rastakan.
Welcome to Overwatch. What's next?
No, nevím, ale... Já, kdo to bude, jestli to bude Warrior? No nic moc priority, jenom 50 peků a hero. To je na hovno, minule byl aspoň tak Golden Legend.
Alright. How you doing? Hello BlizzCon. What's up everybody? How's everyone doing? Alright, well we're really happy to be here today. We're going to be talking about Overwatch. We're going to be talking about what's next in Overwatch, which hopefully you all saw earlier. We're going to be focusing on Overwatch.
Chcete prečítať jednu konverzáciu polsku tu, na čo mám?
Ne?
Od spoluhráčov? Že tušiak zrad, sekret? Jaký sekret? No tego vlastne neviem. To dobrý sekret, nezdrádze. Nejaký sekret? Alebo nejaký secret? Tajomstvo secret speech. No tego vlastne neviem. Neviem, jaký sekret. To dobrý sekret. A ty The One to sú odkiaľ? To je nejaká... toto? Nejaká China? No.
To jsou šiteři.
A dobrá, a či je to úplne umrelo to Hocko, či čo tam sú za tými? Ty SPT a taky to?
Myslím, že jo, no, že to hodně umřelo, protože oni, jak měli tu vlastní ligu, tak oni nebyli schopni prostě konkurovat zbytku moc. A tam se to pak jako strašně rozpadlo. Měli ten jejich Gold League nebo co a oni nehráli jakoby s nikým jiným než se sami se sebou, takže pak prostě přišli Korejci, že jo, a úplně zdrtili. Tam byl nějaký turnaj Korea versus Čína prostě a hráli proti sobě pak jenom Korejci.
Alright, so as you may know, when we start making a new character, one of the things that we really like to get into is the backstory of the character. How did this hero end up being who she is? And our favorite way to do that is to do able to sort of organize all these groups so that, when they have trouble with each other, they go after each other. But in general, they could all just operate a little better. And I think it was Ash's kind of implementation of those rules of the criminal brotherhood that really worked out. And I think where does she get these rules? Where does she get this idea that relationships are very there's rules you have to follow and people are supposed to behave in certain ways? Well, I think about it. She was probably a bit of a loner when she grew up. She probably talked to Bob, her butler,
a lot.
And so, what kind of lessons about living do you learn from your robot butler? I think I think they helped her out and they helped her figure out what's going on. So, in a nutshell, that is Ash the character, and I'm going to hand it off now so that we can talk about some of the other aspects of creating her.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Michael. So, again, my name is Jason Hill, and I'm part of story and franchise development. And for those of you who don't know what story and franchise development is within Blizzard, we're the department that does the novels and the comic books and the statues. We also do the 2D pieces like the Origins piece, some of the in-game cinematics, but we also do the higher pre-rendered cinematics, like the episodes that you saw today with McCree. So this is story and franchise development. So let's actually talk about kind of how this character came to be and how she grew. And really, it started way back in the before time, in the long ago, when I was approached and said, hey, do you want to direct a Western? And at which point you say yes, because who doesn't want to direct a Western? And at that point you also know, hey, you know what, that means McCree. So yes, please, where do I sign? But what really kind of intrigued me about this piece when we first started to talk about it, before there was a script or anything like that, was McCree and the train's going to crash, and there's the payload at the end, and the Deadlock gang's there. That's kind of all we knew at that point. And so what for me personally, what really appealed to me was the fact that we could explore the Deadlock gang. And for when I'm watching a TV show or a movie or reading comic or whatever like that, and there's a group of individuals there that are whether they're bounty hunters or pirates or cowboys or outlaws, if they're all very unique, you want to know their backstory. You want to know more about them, but we may not be able to tell that entire story. And so that's really what I wanted to get out of the Deadlock gang, is just hopefully everybody, when you guys watch it, go, I just want to know more about them. That in a perfect world, that would have been great. Because at that point, didn't have an idea that she was going to be a hero. We hadn't even had those conversations. So I actually had one of our storyboard artists, Mio. I did the pitch. I'm like, a big Omnic bodyguard, something. We've seen the normal Omnics, kind of human-shaped, and we've seen the Bastion-style ones, but we hadn't seen anything else. And they should be able to come in all shapes and sizes. And the leader, should just be this female with this big brim hat and this long duster and a lever-action rifle. And then we should just fill out with other members of the gang we can explore. And so Mio went off and drew, and this is actually this is probably the first image of Ash ever drawn. And when he brought it to me, I'm like, yes, that's it. This invoked the feeling that I wanted. There was this woman, like, kind of front and center, who's like, I'm not going to mess with her. She looks powerful. She's definitely, she's got a commanding presence. She's got this giant Omnic in the back that has a mustache. Come on, you can't go wrong with that.
Not a hat yet.
No hat yet. The hat came later. But again, and so you have other members of the gang that we, kind of explored a lot of different things with, and we can definitely talk about that. But then as we started to storyboard the process, because this was more about McCree was just going to face off against the gang, and as we started to storyboard the process a little bit more, it really became clear that Ash kept coming to the foreground super fast. She was very compelling, even in the storyboards. Like, we want to know more about her. Who is? What does she sound like? What is she saying? What is, I can't wait to see this character animated. So we knew there was something kind of special about her. And so after all the storyboards were done and we had a script, then it was time to actually start doing some concepts for her. We had the basic concept that the storyboard, we definitely needed to flesh it out more for the 3D models for the cinematic and then eventually for the gameplay. So Zhang Li, she's one of our concept artists. She's phenomenal. This is actually some of the very, very, very first designs of Ash, and they are awesome. They came in, we're like, whoa, that's exactly what we said. Big hat, long white hair, rifle, all the stuff. but she's not an Overwatch character. She didn't have that like special sauce. There wasn't something about her that we're like, yes, that's just, you know, right out of the gate, that's perfect. And the other thing is, you know, the more we looked at her, we're like, she's kind of has more of a gothic look, and you would expect her to be hunting vampires or werewolves or something like that. So it wasn't quite right. Again, super cool, not quite right, but there was one bigger problem when we started to kind of step back and you do the squint test where you're kind of like, how does this look? And we realized,
Yeah.
So you guys see it. You don't have to spell. Okay. Silhouette and color palette were a little too similar to Reaper. And for both in cinematics and in the game, we definitely want a very clear character read. As they run through the frame, as you're like, you know, scoping in on them, you want to know who you're going after or who you're seeing super fast. So at this point, we knew we had to continue to explore the space. We had to continue to try more designs. So I asked Xiongha, I'm like, just go, just run with it. And this is the first one that she came back with. Again, super cool, really just like, this is a great design, but the same problem with Reaper, it was a little too much like McCree, same color palette, cowboy boots. We did not want a female McCree. We wanted a character who could stand on their own, have their own identity, and just be really strong. So we asked, let's keep pushing that a little bit. Next one, came across a little too punk rock, cool, but definitely a little punk rock there. This third one, I love this. Like this is I'm going to put this in design in my back pocket, and maybe it'll show up later in something else.
We'll save these for potential use in the future.
Something else.
Yeah.
But and it's super. But the problem was that the keyword is super, and she looks like a superhero here, not the leader of a gang. And we want to get her back to kind of that biker gang vibe. And so we were like, okay, kind of let's steer the ship back. Let's start going back to the, you know, the hat, the black hat and stuff like that. This is the next one's getting closer, a little too youthful, didn't have kind of that commanding presence that we were kind of looking for. Super cool, but you're starting to see pieces of Ash there. Another one, kind of a little steampunk, had a kind of a mobsters 20s, 30s vibe in there. Again, super, super cool. But what we kind of realized as we started to look at all of these, we were able to pull different parts from them, and ultimately we arrived here. And this was the approved design for Ash. And she had a strong silhouette. Everybody was like, yes, she's awesome. This is cool. This is great. What a great looking character. We did have to make one final modification. Ash needed a haircut. For largely for production reasons in both the game and in the cinematics. Simulating big flowing hair like we had in the concepts, it's really, really difficult.
8200 mám teraz, alebo tak nejak mal, tak teraz predtým, než som stratil 600 bodov, som mal 8200. Som si ich získal akurát späť.
But we found it actually gave her a better silhouette. It gives her a sharper, edgier look and made her even cooler. So, like, we really couldn't go wrong.
What I like most about Ash's design and what you and Xiongha really did well was just mixing that biker theme with the Western kind of cowboy theme. And I really think you guys really married those elements together, and it really shows through in the final.
And that was something that, you know, in talking with all the gentlemen here, we just didn't want another cowgirl. We didn't, but also at the same time, just a biker wasn't enough. It's like, what's that special thing?
Right,
and I feel like we really, you know, hit the nail on the head. She's fantastic. You can't talk about Ash without talking about Bob. Guys, I'll be honest. Bob's my life coach now. he's gonna be my mascot. We love Bob. Bob was something that just kind of came out of, like, you saw the storyboard. I gave a description. Mio drew that first pass. Then, you know, the hat came on, and he just became this character so quickly, and everybody was just like gravitating. We love Bob. And to kind of show you, you know, this was Xiongha's one of her initial concepts for Bob, and that's the approved design for Bob. So not only is he my life coach, he's also apparently a unicorn, because he's so rare in production to have something go from just an idea to a final design so quickly. It's almost unheard of. So go Bob. Just to kind of show you again just how close, how close things went with Bob. This was a storyboard, an early storyboard for Bob. This is a final frame. So Bob was just meant to be. So with Ash's design and the animators are animating her, and she's coming together great, and we go, Bob's just, you know, Bob. There was one final piece of the puzzle, and that is what does Ash sound like? Who's her voice? Who portrays this character? You know, we knew in this piece we've got McCree, which is it's Matt Mercer. Like Matt Mercer. Yeah. I see his family's here.
Everyone's his family.
Matt is so strong and so talented and just gives such a great performance that I really was like, we need somebody who could go toe-to-toe with him. And very early on in the process, I had an actress in mind, but as also the director of the piece, I didn't want my personal bias, my personal opinion to kind of take over and be like, I'm forcing this on you guys. It's good to just kind of explore the space, and maybe who knows what you'll find. And so we brought in a bunch of actresses, all of them phenomenal. We've been lucky to have so many of them. Again, there's a lot of stuff I'm putting in my back pocket from like, yeah, I'm going to remember this voice for something later. And then basically we got about the auditions down to about 10 auditions left for Ash, and I had my editor Nathan run clips of Ash, and he just started running the dialogue and not telling me who the actress was. And it was about the 5th or 6th take. I'm like, that's it, that's Ash, that's without a question. And he just started laughing at me. He's like, you know what? That was your original. And he just started laughing at me. He's like, you know what? That was your original take. That was the original person you wanted. That was Jennifer Hale. So clearly, Jennifer is just a powerhouse in the industry. Even if you don't think you've heard her, you've heard her.
Voice of Diablo.
Yeah, she is just not only the sweetest woman out there, but just can just bring so much personality to a character and just so much strength and just that extra little spice that really brings the character alive. But the other plus we had on this piece is we got them both in the booth together, and so having them ad-lib and riff and just improvise, this was just to me, this was a fantastic day just to watch this happen. So I cannot wait to see what the rest of the game team does with Ash, and in the future, or maybe not so far in the future, who knows. But something else happened while we were making this cinematic. I started to hear whispers in the hallways like, hey, Ash might actually, the game team's thinking about making Ash as a character. It's like, really? Because I thought maybe we'd put her in a comic book or something like that after the fact, but a character? That's awesome. And then it started gaining steam. And to talk about how that happened, I'd like to hand this over to Jeff.
Thank you. All right, so yeah, let's talk about how she made it into the game. I think the most common question I probably get asked in interviews and things is, what is our design process like for getting a hero into the game? Like, where does it start?
You're saying it's not Mercy Nerf question?
No, the second. Yeah, you're right. Okay, the second question I get is how it gets to the game. So it's interesting because the answer is it's not really the same every time. It comes from all over the place. Like, often we'll have some game design concept we want to play with, and then we kind of I go, all right, I want to do this crazy thing. Like, what does that look like to you?
You're crazy, Jeff.
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty hard sometimes, but. Sometimes it'll just be opposite, like Arnold draws something awesome, and then I'm like, I got to figure out how to put that again. That looks sweet. So this was the first time, actually, we had something come right out of story and franchise development. A lot of times, we're planning heroes way in ahead. So, we're thinking what heroes we're going to do next, what heroes we want to prototype, and what we were thinking from the design side is we've had a couple damage-dealing characters.
Prý nějaký týpek v tom Q&A na Diablo se zeptal, jestli to má být apriolový vtip. A co mu řekli na to?
Heroes like Pharah and Widowmaker, for example, are very weapon focused. They have abilities, but the abilities very much support their weapon. They're all about applying that weapon as well as they can.
Tak by bylo načasí, že jak ten Blizzard něco do toho mobilu dal. Vlastně Diablo tomu vyhovoval najviac, ale
like a more weapon-focused hero, and we're kind of in that space, and almost at the same time, we get these you guys saw the real early sketches of storyboards and stuff we're getting from the reunion video, and it was immediate with Ash. We saw her, we're like, oh my God, she's amazing, and seeing that lever action rifle, we're just like, that
budou samý mikrotransakce.
Really cool stuff.
Nebo jak to bude zadarmo, ale
we saw that, we were all super excited, and independently, we had a couple designers go back and actually write up proposals for designs right away, and we sent them out. Actually, Bob was the one thing that made it through the designs, from multiple people, we gotta get Bob in there.
I love that you had multiple people squaring off on their own separately, and when started building design docs for it.
Yeah, it was we were super excited. So this is sort of the kit we ended up with. Again, she's very much focused on this weapon we call the Viper, which is a lever action rifle. So it's interesting in the same way that like McCree's the revolver, and it's sort of like, why would you use a revolver sort of in the future? But his is super high powered and it has that like energy, you know, edge to it. It's kind of a very personalized weapon. Hers is very much the same thing. I mean, I'll go ability by ability here. So
the ones they make.
The Viper has a lot of really interesting properties to it. The main way you use it is, you can see the video here, if you just kind of use primary fire really quickly without using the alternate fire, you could just fire pretty fast, almost like McCree's alternate fire, but it's not as, you know, McCree almost loses control of the thing when he shoots it really fast, but she has a lot more control and it doesn't fire quite as fast. And it doesn't fire the whole thing at once, you can kind of do piecemeal. But if you use the alternate fire, that's when you really aim in. It's a lot slower rate of fire, but it hits really hard. So that's typically where you're going to want to do is try to, you know, aim in and try to get those headshots. It also has an interesting property we've never done before, where she doesn't reload by sticking a magazine in there. It really wouldn't make sense for a lever.
Kámo, jak by tam tleskali, když se na to zeptal. Holy shit.
To spýtal tam live na nějakou Q&A?
No na Q&A normálně přišel a zeptal se, jestli si dělají prdel prostě s tím Diablem. A my nám začali tleskat všichni.
You can do a pretty good amount of damage doing that, but then you have like this long reload where you have to like put every bullet back in. It can take quite a while.
What's great about that is like you can empty your entire, you know, all your bullets and then duck behind a corner, put 2 in, and just jump out and fire, and jump back, put 1 more in.
Yeah, it's
so
really
it's just
cool.
very organic and very just fast.
And first ability called the coach gun. Actually, thinking back, it's actually interesting. You know, like Jitsu was saying, Bob's sort of unicorn, and in a lot of ways, Ash is sort of unicorn for us because we got so many types of iterations on heroes. Like we'll just throw an ability on and like that didn't work. Try something else. So Ash pretty much came together like the whole thing, and we didn't really. I mean, we iterated a lot, but we didn't like swap out whole abilities, which is actually pretty rare. So her coach gun here is, like I said, she's mostly a weapon-focused hero, so it's an ability that does damage, but its true purpose isn't so much the amount of damage that it does, it's more of the mobility it gives her. Not only does it knock herself backwards away, but it also knocks the enemies you hit away. So you can actually create like this double distance or knock somebody up if you want to. It's kind of a fun trick shot. You can knock somebody up in the air and then pull up a shot and hit them out of the air if you want to get, you know, on YouTube or something. Yeah, so this ability is really cool. It's kind of her only real escape. So you get like Winston jumping on you or something like that. This is like your one good way out of jail, a free card hopefully if you can hit him if he doesn't block it with a shield.
That's useful for a criminal.
That's true. To get away.
Get out of jail free card.
Terrible. Yeah, I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that. Okay, her next ability is called Dynamite. This ability actually does a ton of damage. So even though she's kind of all about the weapon, she does have this one very highly damaging ability. The main reason it does a lot of damage because you can see it takes quite a while to go off. You throw it down, and you know Overwatch is a very fast-paced game. You throw this thing down and it sits on the ground for 2 seconds. No one's really going to be sitting on it, like waiting for it to go off. Like, okay, I'll give you this one.
What?
So even though it does a ton of damage, it has this long fuse.
Týpek má za samura 57
ku 14. She does have a trick up her sleeve where she can shoot it at any time with either the coach gun or her Viper and detonate it early. So there's a lot of really cool trick shots you could do. You could throw it, you know, hit somebody around a corner by shooting it just at the right time as it's going around the corner, which is really common because you'd be like wing somebody, then they're like hurt and they edge around a corner, and you try to get them, and they go around. But actually, it's got a lot of use for just throwing it on the ground and letting the fuse detonate itself too. Like, you know, you have a bunch of tanks rolling up through a choke or something, and they have a bunch of their barriers up, and you're like, well, I'm not very good in this situation with my rifle. But if you just throw the dynamite down in front of them, it's like you can't just kind of walk through that really slowly because it does so much damage. So there's a lot of utility in this ability as well. And then, of course, couldn't be Ash without Bob. So I do have to say, Ash almost didn't happen because we were adamant about Bob being with her. Yeah. And it was surprisingly, technically very challenging to get her in the game. You know, there's a lot of technical requirements and memory constraints. You know, we have characters like Torbjorn that can create a turret, but a turret is much less detailed than Bob is. Bob's pretty much a full hero. It's like, for that moment in time, you can get 2 heroes on the map at the same time, essentially.
Yeah, a turret can't do uppercuts, can't capture the payload for you.
Turret can't uppercut yet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Feature request.
So Bob, the way he works is, you call him in, he kind of jumps in over you and lands right in front of you and starts running forward. And the first person he hits, he knocks up in the air. He'll knock everyone around in the air if he hits anybody. And then he'll like, come to a stop and start shooting. He pulls out his arm cannons and starts shooting. He'll also, if he hits a wall, he'll just turn around and start shooting as well. So it's really powerful for just, like, you can do alley-oop moves, which is really fun. If you hit somebody with it, he does a lot of damage knocking them up in the air, but they also lose air control when they're in the air. They can still do their abilities and everything, so if you're like Reaper, you can Wraith form and like try to avoid further damage. But if you're somebody who doesn't have that, you kind of get knocked in the air, and Ash is like, well, this is the perfect opportunity, you know, like a really easy moving target here. So that's a great combo with him. But even if you don't follow through with that, if you just like throw him into a wall, now you have this like really powerful turret with a ton of health behind the enemy, which, you know, Overwatch tends to be this kind of game with a lot of battle lines, and now you have this like really powerful thing they have to deal with. You can't just like let it shoot everybody back there. So you kind of cause a lot of chaos there, and she gets to just have free reign while he's going crazy.
To tam je prý někdo
Bob also
vypískal.
has a couple properties about him that are very, very different than other turrets and what we call
Na
pets.
tom Q&A toho Diabla taky prý vypískali.
In a lot of ways acts like a seventh hero in her team. He can be healed. He can be like debuffed and buffed. He can be nano-boosted.
Nejaký zálitký fanšik Diabla a čakáš niečo, ale video proste niečo na mobile od toho starého Diabla, čo je na kombinaci. Ale pridajú tam vôbec niečo? Čaká, nepotrebuješ Diablo 4, tak aspoň do tej trojky, niečo tam je nejaký nový content alebo niečo, ale neviem. Ale nejaké zmeny aspoň niečo.
So he's like, he's there. We actually had a time. We had to change a few things because it was getting a little crazy the amount of stuff.
Já se to nezajímalo, čiž mě sral, kdyby jsem mal hrát plus.
Tak co mám teď dělat, teď nic se neděje, že jo, tak prostě aspoň řeším tady drama, to mě baví aspoň. Jako protože mě to zajímá, mně se líbí ta reakce, prostě na tom Redditu, prostě tady všichni to hejtí.
Seems fair.
Let's change that one. There was also a moment where we had like the game wasn't started yet. We'd have waiting for players, and it'd be like five on one team, 6 on another, and you'd call Bob, and the game would start because it's like, oh, 6-6, we're good. It's like, okay.
I mean, I might rather have Bob than some of the teammates.
Nebrčekuj tomu, že nebrčekuj tomu, že to na mobil.
He stays on the objective.
And he doesn't talk back.
It's true. All right, so that's kind of the overview of everything she could do. We actually have a video showing it all in action. We'll run that now.
Pán idem srať sa nechal pekne zabiť. Asi fakt šiel srať.
Funny. They say there's no honor among thieves. But that's not how things work around here. If you cross me, or if you break your word, there'll be hell to pay. You can count on it. Let's clean up this mess.
Oh, come on, give me a challenge.
You wanna try me? Poser. Back off.
Jaký krásný.
Burn it all down. Now that gets the blood pumping. There you are.
It's
I'm calling the shots. Bob, do something!
Jeff, is it true that it's one of Ash's passive abilities that if she melees McCree while ulting, it's initiation?
Maybe we should put that in. That'd be great.
I feel like we need a Bob cinematic. Just.
Oh.
It would be a silent film.
That's true.
I love that we got the Bob do something line from the
cinematic
as her alt line. Like that's
yeah, it was actually a funny story. So, like I was saying, we were working on the production early and we were prototyping everything. And you know, one of the things about prototyping is we don't have any assets yet. So I'm usually like just stealing whatever we have. Like, I get a skin from this character, and like I'm a terrible VFX artist, so whatever I can do for VFX, just get it in there. And then I was realizing that, like, man, we really need, like, when Bob is summoned in the playtest, we're having issues where it's like, you can't, people don't know or they don't hear him coming or whatever. We need like a line. I'm like, hey, wait, they already recorded these lines. We could just use these. So like, during like prototyping, all the time we would hear Bob get in there and smoke him out of there every time she threw a dynamite. It was like ingrained in our consciousness every time we play her. But it was great to have that sort of extra advantage to working on the prototype.
Totally. Yeah, so Ash is a really special character for us because this is one of the unique times where we get to realize a character from created from story and franchise development into our game. You know, we had something like that with Brigitte, where we took her first from the comic into the animated short, and then into the game we kind of armored her up. But with Ash, this is really the first time that we took the character directly as she was designed into the game, because we were so excited early on, you know, seeing those storyboards, seeing those concepts by the artists, and you know, making sure that because they were so exciting to see that all the feedback we were giving was like, yeah, this character might make it into the game. This is like when we first saw Bob, we're like, oh, this is like so cool.
Bude hrát aspoň nějaký zápas?
Ash, what kind of weapons she would use, and just making sure that everything we did with those characters would make them great heroes in the game as well. Classic games around. Making maybe some small adjustments here and there, but she's you know, fully in the game now. And then, of course, there's also Bob. Yeah, shout outs to Bob.
I think they like him.
I think Bob wins. All right.
So Bob actually, you know, sharing your excitement here. The artists on the Overwatch team were also very excited hearing that Bob was going to be the ultimate for Ash, but we're also a little bit apprehensive and a little bit nervous because this was really the first time we had literally two heroes or two characters in the slot of one hero. In the game of Overwatch, it's, you know, a 6v6, and not to get too technical into it, but you know, we kind of have a budget for each character that, you know, for performance of the game, not to, you know, to break the game. And for us to put two characters in the game was a new thing for us. We kind of had, you know, Wrecking Ball with, you know, the hamster and the mech, and we had Diva with her, the pilot and the mech. But this is the first time having like a full-fledged character. I mean, Bob is pretty much as big as Reinhardt size, and you know, Ash is as big as just you know, any of our other heroes. And fitting that into the budget was a huge challenge, but one that, you know, the character artists and the engineers on the Overwatch team really, really took to, and just, you know, you can see here that, you know, we were able to recreate Bob just as faithfully as we could. You know, it was great that he was almost perfectly symmetrical, except for the little two pieces of tape, you know, on his vest over there. There's another element like on there that's symmetrical. I'll let you guys find that one. But yeah, we were able to recreate Bob in the game, and everyone's super excited. And the next challenge for us was, how do we literally bring him into the game? You know, now that he was in there, we wanted to, for the gameplay, for him to appear very instantly, because this was a very important gameplay mechanic where Ash summons Bob, sometimes as an escape mechanic. You know, you want to just knock out the person that's right in front of you. So it's imperative that he appears very quickly. And early on, we kind of brainstormed all these different ideas. We're thinking like, oh, maybe he comes to a portal, or like maybe he kind of phases in like hard light, like Symmetra's turrets.
Like the one coming out of the ground like a mole.
Kind of busts out the ground, like the Kool-Aid Man. Maybe he drops down from a dropship, but all of those things just didn't feel like things that a biker gang or, you know, like a gang in the American Southwest would do. They all felt too techy or too sci-fi. So we took inspiration from, you know, other parts of the game. You know, what if he was like more like Doomfist, his meteor strike, where he just kind of jumps up and comes right in. So we have Bob just like leaping in from a very far distance. Here's a movement concept from our concept artist, Ben Zhang, just kind of illustrating ideas on how we can have him appear on screen. Originally, we're thinking maybe we need a giant dust cloud to kind of hide the fact that he's coming real quick, but actually ended up turning out really, really intuitive, and actually he kind of comes in really smoothly, and kind of exits really smoothly. So I'm glad to see how he kind of got integrated into the game. The next thing we want to talk about is the Viper. So Jeff talked a little bit about this, but we really wanted to recreate Ash's gun as authentically as possible from the animated short, so making as little adjustments as possible. One thing we had to, you know, fine-tune a little bit is, you know, with the new reload mechanic that Jeff designed.
Oh shit!
We really wanted that reload to feel really good and have like a nice little port for the bullets to go into. Again, early on, we're brainstorming different ideas that she could kind of reload really quickly, because the reload has to be pretty quick to get, like, how many shots do you have? Like 20?
She's 12 right now, I believe.
12 bullets in there. So we're thinking at first maybe she needs a speed loader or something. But again, that ended up feeling a little bit too techy. And there's just something about like that visceral sound of putting the bullets in by hand one at a time. It just feels really good. Another thing that the artists and game designers worked really hard on is getting that alternate fire to just feel really, really good. We have a lot of very passionate first-person shooter players on the art team and on the design team. And I just remember this moment where you guys were all just huddled around the desk, like fine-tuning the FOV, the field of view, and like the depth of field, like how blurry the background gets, or just like fine-tuning the size of the gun on the camera, just making it feel nice to get in that alt fire mode. And it feels awesome. I can't wait till you guys get to try it for yourselves. The next ability is the dynamite. So here we have a lot of different versions. We actually did a lot of exploration early on because the ability originally started off as a cluster bomb.
So originally, in some of the earlier playtesting, we just had to do a big explosion, but some of the
já jsem počul, že oruč skončil.
Tanks or not even tanks, just people behind barriers. It's kind of hard because the explosion wasn't that big at the time, and you had to throw it so high you couldn't hit them. So we tried to design where you could hit it and then it would like rain into cluster bombs, so you could like shoot it above people and rain on them. Ended up, it was kind of really cool visually, but it kind of had a problem where it was like this extra now delay where you're shooting it and then the other things fall and then those have to explode, and it's like game's so fast it usually didn't work out that well unless you just got really lucky. But so we ended up going back to adding a bigger explosion, fire, and everything.
Yeah, so again, our lead concept artist, Ben Zhang, took a pass at you'll see the top row, those are more of the cluster bomb types, and then we went back to the more single dynamite design on the left side, and it was kind of reading a little bit too high-tech again. And then just turning it red, though, gave it that classic dynamite read from afar, but also looking closely, it has that nice kind of sci-fi Overwatch feel to it. So next is my favorite part.
Yeah.
Let's show some skins. So Ash and Bob are, I think, the most fun that the concept artists had designing skins, because usually, you have one character and we have first thing we do usually is come up with a theme for the skin. And there's usually all these different elements, like whether you're a pirate or, like a ninja or whatever, there's all these different things you could use to put onto the character, and usually it's too many. We end up pulling things out. But with Ash and Bob, we can really give them both all of these different elements from all of these different themes that we thought of. So the first one is the mobster.
Love that hat.
Yeah, those hats, man. The headwear is on point for Ash.
The man knows how to wear a hat. He's got a great mustache.
Yeah, like just with the mustache and the hat, like Bob, he looks so good. Yeah, like Jason was mentioning earlier, some of the early concepts felt like a little bit mobster, so we're like, wait a minute, let's save that idea for later. This old-timey mobster skin. And the concept artist on this, Morten Skalvik, he was telling me, originally we actually had her with the black kind of overalls and the white shirt, and that ended up looking too much like her original look, so we ended up kind of swapping the colors on that, and it actually turned out really, really good. And the next one is the safari skin. Yeah. Safari wins is going to be in trouble.
I love this skin. This is phenomenal.
Got the little goatee now.
Yeah, he got a goatee.
Yeah, again, the hats are just like awesome. Again, Morten was telling me, like, with designing skins for Ash and Bob, one of the things he wanted to keep in mind was making sure that
Heroes Hearts Team Liquid, to by mohla být dobrá
always
hra.
felt like the leader, and Bob always felt like the lackey, and it really comes through in these two designs. And these are super awesome in the game as well.
Kirin kouká na Boba.
And they'll be coming out with Ash shortly.
Guardsman Bob.
But that's all we have for today. Thank you guys for joining us.
Can we play her?
Yeah.
Can we play her?
Yeah, you guys can play her right now, actually. She's on the floor here. Hopefully the line's not too big, but yeah, please definitely play her. Give us feedback on everything. We love to get any kind of feedback, especially initial reactions and everything.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you for attending Overwatch What's Next. Coming up, Hearthstone What's Next.
I'm Darren DePaul, and you're watching the Blizzard Vault series. Let's go check out some legendary treasures with the Vault's librarian and archivist, Joanna Perez. So we've seen the giant props and the weapon replicas, but other than those, what other kinds of unusual items might we find in the vault?
Well, the vault is actually made up largely of digital items now.
I did not expect you to say that.
So we have source code and builds and digital art. And in the case of StarCraft, the majority of what we have in the StarCraft archive is all digital.
My name is Hayden Salguero, and I'm a submissions and mastering specialist.
So what is this room that we're in right now?
This is the mastering lab.
What does the mastering lab do, and what kinds of things are stored here?
The mastering lab does all the QA tests as well as the gold masters. We do physical and digital storage. So a lot of these cabinets have disks, but we have a network location that we're storing all of it as well digitally.
So you guys have something super cool housed in your mastering lab, StarCraft related. Can we see it?
Actually, we do. You probably heard about it on news articles and gaming blogs. It's the StarCraft Gold Master source code disk. It made its way out into the wild, and a gentleman from our community came into possession of it, and we reached out, and without expectations of any kind, he returned it. He did the right thing, and we showed our appreciation by giving him a bunch of Blizzard swag and a full expenses paid trip to BlizzCon. It's great, especially because it's invaluable source code, and you know, it's legacy title, and now it's back in the mastering lab where it can be safe and sound, and hopefully never released again.
So even if a project doesn't go to completion, we will save that too, because it can be used as reference.
Heroes Hard, jak tam cvičí, kámo, jaké popčíska tam má některý.
To say, oh, what were they working on? You never know what part or what iteration of a piece is going to be reused or can be used for research. So we keep all parts.
Even early concept stuff?
Even early concept stuff.
Oh, wow.
My name's Sam Didier. I'm a senior art director at Blizzard.
So what do we have here today?
Well, what we have here today is a stalker from StarCraft 2. It is a Dark Templar Dragoon, and it didn't start out like this. The original concept for the stalker was done, as you can see, in '99, and that was for, I believe, our Nintendo 64 StarCraft game that we were doing. We didn't actually end up adding this unit to the game, but I really liked the design, and I wanted to use it, so when we started working on StarCraft 2, we were looking at Protoss units. We were thinking the Dragoon we could kind of either remove and put something totally new, or we could bring back the idea of the Dark Templar Dragoon and we make the Stalker.
How important do you think it is to save every iteration of art that everyone is creating here?
It's super valuable. Like, I did this 2006, and then they removed the Firebat from the Terran army in StarCraft 2. They're like, okay, well,
what the fuck? Co sa s tými stejnami deje? Vypadol zvuk.
Maybe the Marauder, I looked up my old Firebat artwork, could look a lot like that. This is a Marauder. See, we removed the studded shoulder pad, so it's clearly not a Firebat now. And now it sort of went back to here with a newer version of a Firebat for Heroes of the Storm. And having this history of Blizzard demands that we have an archive of all of the art that we've created here, and the Vault has been fantastic in that.
Thank you for images like this.
Well, no
contributing.
problem. I have a saying that's always be creating, and I guess yours would be always be cataloging.
Always be cataloging. Always save your stuff.
Yeah.
Welcome back. I'm Jessica Drew.
I'm Lorraine Torres.
And I'm Stephen Dwyer, and this is Elite Cosplay.
On this final episode, we're going to take an even closer look at the submissions so far.
There's a lot of advanced material work here, which is just fantastic.
I really love it when I see people cosplaying something that they really like as a character.
Being able to handle the weight that comes with these bigger builds, that's impressive.
Surely it's a workout in its own right during the day of the con.
Thank you again for joining us. We really hope you enjoyed all the details we got to share.
We're going to be taking a look at the costumes all the way up until BlizzCon.
Hello.
Thank you so much for all your submissions.
Mně tam teda nic nejde, Kenny, jak jsi mi poslal ten link.
Já tam mám 15-minutový záznam nějaký. Kenny tam jede teď nějaký cosplay, nebo co? A jede to. Jo, to už jede. No, doufám, že v tom hocku bude něco pořádného, jinak to bude smutné. No tak to je všecko, ne? To, co bylo na tom webu. Podle mě tam nebudou říkat nic dalšího. Asi jo. Můžem, no.
When snipe. Never? Oh, Dragon is here.
Mhm.
Tak trošku som prišiel, že to bylo, lebo som dožil hru Dragon, takže to bude chvíľku trvať ešte.
Aha. A tak já si myslím, že ten Epic Dream to vědět nebude, takže to je celkem jedno asi. Jo, teď jsem to četl, jak jsi to poslal. Něco, že little bit problem with English, nebo co? A dal jsem... Co? What? Počkej. Tak to si přečtu celý. But I think admin. To mě přišlo taky zvláštní. To jediný jsem viděl, no. Hocko jsem viděl a Diablo. Aha, já mám 7-2 draft z rána, takže to musím dohrát. Zjistil jsem 2 věci. Že ta karta za 4 s tím ozubeným tím, a jak se to jmenuje? Tak je strašně OP a ještě je OP ten za 3 many ten skeleton, co vysává ten život. Ten je taky nechutný, protože tím můžeš ubránit i ty velký golemy, že on je strašně vysaj. Plus vysává i ty malý peky, všechno. A ten kostlivec, co vysává, pak to všechno bouchá, ten je taky nechutný. A jo, a ti pufové, ti taky, no. Jo, ty taky, no. Já jsem pak musel jít pryč, tak jsem nic nepsal, ale je zbytečný.
Ako je pravda, že keby tu bolo viac ľudí, tak máš viac lepších ľudí a bolo by to lepšie, ale No tak to je pomôže, no akože pomôže to s tým matchmakingom, kde je menšie percento hráčov, čo znamená Master Grandmaster.
No, tohle sezónu jo.
No práve, však hovorím, že keby bolo viac ľudí, tak by to možno bolo lepšie, pretože zase nejaké to percento by bolo v tom Masteri a ten zbytok by išiel proste nižšie, že iba by tí lepší by sa dostali vyššie, ak ma chápeš. Že to 1% by reálne aj odpovedalo tým dobrým hráčom. Keby to malo väčšiu základňu, ale...
Jo, no to asi jo.
Ale pochybujem, že to tak myslelo, no neviem.
Co dostanu? Za 7 vinů už by to mohlo být dobrý celkem. To byl plný rekt. Tak ti lidi mají insane balíky. Tady už.
To radí furt ten Minion Masters, či z toho?
A furt, teď jsem to zapl.
Ne. Takže nevím z toho hocka, no. Koľko hocek ste dnes hrali, no? Ja 16. Ale ne.
Ty vole.
Ne, hral som, neviem, akých 10, asi nejakých 8 až 10, neviem. A 8 asi, neviem. A potom som si zahral telko s platinami omylom. Kámo, úplný akože... To bolo akože horšie to nemohlo byť.
No.
No. Ja som dal cancel, on to zmizlo, išiel som klikám Hero League, nič sa nedie a o 5 sekúnd ma to loglo. Neviem, to okej.
Aha.
Oh mega.
Aj než tě pozvu, to je vždycky hodina. Už. Asi. Jo, to jsem si taky všiml ráno, když jsem to zapl, no. Tak to je cool. Je tam nějaký Demon Warrior za 10 000, to můžu koupit, ale jaký to je, to nevím. Co tam o něm píšou, to nezjistím. Jo. No. Ty vole. To jsem asi neviděl, nikoho hrát. To v tom draftu hráli všichni proti mě toho puffa. Jo, však jo, já tam posílám jenom tady tu jedničku. A když budeme prohrávat, no teď jsem nemusel dávat nic a to je jedno. Já když prohráváme oba ty, tak mám ty legionáře.
Oba ty?
Ty mosty.
Dveře?
Mosty, ne věže.
Dveře?
Mosty.
Takže věže.
To vytankuju nahoře. To mi taky přijde extrémně dobrá, tady ta s tím štítem, co je. Jo. Tak ne. Tak to. Jo a to je taky dobrý, ten Fireball s tím tím. To jsem si jednou nadraftil v tom draftu. To je taky nechutný pěkně. Splošní to. Ona má plošňák, ale to nedáte po níž. No. OK. Já jsem tam mohl dát tu jednu, ale to je jedno. No. Vůbec. Myslím, že vůbec zase ten deck upravil. Kolko kota nestihnu vytankovat, to je unlucky. A dobrý, přežil. To jsi na tom jak já. A to jsem hrál skoro celý dopoledne. Mhm. Mhm. OK. No nic takového nemám, no lepší. Já mám akorát tuhle plošnou, tady tu ženskou. Saj to týpku. Tam toho jede dole. Mhm. Mhm. Jo. Fakt, já nevím, tyhle jsem měl proti sobě v tom draftu a teda úplně jsem se sekal. A tady toho draka jsem dostal, ten myslím legendární, a to když zahrajou spell, tak on dostane štít, inrage a ještě cosi. Ještě frenzy. No jenom je na sebe všechny tauntí. Nic jinýho. Když všichni jdou do něho. Ale hodně HP teda má, jako to ne, že ne. To vytankuju tady. Toho golema aspoň. No on toho teď vyhealoval tím legendárním spellem, to healuje plošně. No. Aha, mám ještě 10 HP, to není moc.
Ty vole, já jsem prostě boh. Nemůžem to jinak popísat, chlapci.
To je dobře. No, chtělo by toho nějak... No, tak dole bude problém. Teď to vyhýloval ještě. Já ty jsou zapěl. No ale dole to musíme řešit nějak. No vidím to. Toto jenom, ale to jsme mrtví. Bazooka tam střelila. Udělá to něco, když to tam dojde? To asi nedozvíme, ale...
Něco znám, něco toto zajímavé na těch paneloch, či ani moc ne? Tak dík.
Já nevím.
Tak jedni to má zaplatěné, já nevím. Hocičom, já nevím. Či Hocko ještě není nádal?
Teď budou mít oba tandanty legionáře, až tam oni neprojdou, ty vole. Už. OK, taky se rozpadli nějak. Aha, to je nějaký jiný. No co to je? Aha, tak to neznám vůbec. Jsem si říkal, že to vůbec neumírá. Ani nevím, že existuje, to jsem viděl poprvé. Traka, myslím. Počkejte, toto. Aha, toto, tak to je jiné, no. Jo, to vím, když myslíš.
We wanted you to be able to put this in your deck, and your deck feels like the shark deck. It feels like the tiger deck, or the bat deck, or the raptor deck. This was something that was critical for the
No nevím, jako ty spely vypadaly cool. Ale což je to asi jo. Ale nevím, moc se mě nelíbí, že tam dávají hrdiny. Nějaký vymyšlený prostě.
Kam? Do Overwatchu?
Do Hocka. No.
Co je vymyšlený hero?
No ta nová, ta Orfea.
Ta bude v Hocku?
Mhm.
Počkej, jaká Orfea? Odkiaľ Orfea?
To oznámili novýho hrdinu.
To nevím.
Co aha?
Že nemá být Reinhardt a Manorot? A čo je to Orfea? To je odkiaľ?
No od ničeho, to je vymyšlené.
What?
No.
To som ani nevedel, niečo takého hlasili. Tak dávam unsubscribe ocku. Aha, žiadny není, tak nič.
No, když hrajou oni spell, tak má enrage, štít a ještě co si. Aha, tak nahoře je těžký problém. Okay. Ke po andělovi. To jo. To bohužel nemám, no. Mhm. Ten horník. Ne, ty jsi obsadil ten most. A vyhodím ty legionáře, když hrajeme ve dvou, tak se skoro nestane, že nemáme ty mosty. O, tam na to využívám hodně, to se nechám pušnout, pak to tam zahraju a on s tím má problém. Tam dám místo toho. Toto je zajímavá karta. Future Present. Když to zahraješ, tak se to vymění za nějakýho random miniona 2 nebo vyššího, jakýhokoliv. A navždy už ta karta bude stát o 2 míň. A stojí to 500 vykraftit, nevím, jestli to mám zkusit. Asi jo, to se mně líbí, mám rád RNG.
Has a whole bunch of minions that he summons. They all tie together. The image here is the spirit of the tiger. It goes in a similar deck as Shirvala the tiger that you saw earlier. Okay, so we got the Loa, we got the spirit. That's sort of the tiger deck. We also have a troll champion. Those are almost all legendary minions. One of them is also a hero card. So every class has a legendary troll champion, most of whom you've seen from World of Warcraft in the past, and these tend to push in a different direction. These are cards that are good in a deck that's different than the one that the Loa and the Spirit are. So if you're a Paladin player and you're excited about this expansion, you can be excited about the Tiger deck. You can also be excited about the deck that High Priest the Call goes in. High Priest the Call is the Paladin champion depicted here. So you've got those 3 cards, and then you've also got 7 other awesome cards that all derive from the same theme, the glowing
jako slabší si nepamatuju asi. Jsem teda viděl jenom půlku toho začátku, ale...
They all derive their fantasy from the Tiger Loa.
So we have all the formalities out of the way. It's time to begin the Minion Masters! It's time for Rasticon's Rumble! Punish the wicked. 9 teams have assembled to fight for the glorious
tak to vyřeš. Aha. Tak to počká na tu kartu za 8. Aha. Co mě líbí, ale musíme chvilku přežít. Necháme to, nech to přijít blíž trošku. No a teď nám jde dolů kamarád. No. Oh shit, oni ho i one-shotnul. To je debil. Výborně, přímo do fireball jsem to dal. Tak to je ryb. Tak hlavně tam přišel ten velký, že jo, zadarmo. No, oni měli na ty velký peky těch malých, no.
Minion Masters! It's on! My aim is shockingly good.
Tak som prehral hru, kde som bol MVP 1v9.
To je vždycky smutné.
Ach, bože. Aby som topol damage svojho týmu za Kerrigan, ty kokso tam všetkých zabíjal, mal asi 12 kill alebo koľko. Milión asistov a aj tak to prehráme, lebo proste tým je neschopný absolútne.
To je?
No aj to poďať hotskot, jo no. Bo to nebaví spamovat samého. Pätnásť hier mám za dnešok, ty vole, ja som dobre retardovaný. A nepohol som sa dobre, ešte som vlastne strátil kvôli tým 6 bodom. Takže nice one.
For the Rogues. And finally, Akali's Rhinos for the Warriors. These are the 9 teams in Rastikan's Rumble, and we're gonna go into them one at a time. We're gonna show you a couple more cards. So first off, we have Bwansamdi Zombies. And in addition to having the greatest name of all of the Rumble teams, they are also Masters of Death. Bwansamdi is the Loa of the dead, and he's the only non-beast among all of the Loa. He's the one who takes the trolls after they die, and he shepherds them off to wherever they go. Sometimes that's undeath, sometimes it's a better place.
Punish the wicked.
He's also a master of dark bargains. Just ask his champion, Princess Talanji, whose father sacrificed her future in order to save his kingdom. And we wanted to capture that mechanic of sacrifice, of dark bargains in a Hearthstone card. So let's take a look at Surrender to Madness. Surrender to Madness is a 3-mana spell, and it gives all of the deck +2/+2. That's like Prince Keleseth, but twice as
Zabij
good.
to. Lol, jak ti ho chci hodně zabít. Si mi asi úplně nevyplatilo manovi. No, asi zapnu tu kartu, když teď máme volno. Co to je? Hatches from an egg. Tak tam to jsem tři. Já nevím. To dá vždycky random kartu. No jo, ale mě to dalo tohohle týpka, já mám vždycky jinou už jo. A bacha, dole jde ta věc, to pak musíme defnout. Oni tam budou pušovat tak blázní určitě. A to vytankuju tady tím. No dobrý, já to dám pod.
To je dobrý obrázek. Pozrite se do jiné. Jiné? Od koho to je? Nevím.
Já jsem v prdeli zase. To nedefnem. No. No. To je all-in tady na tu kokotinu zas. I to vajíčko mě zabili. To je strašný, oni tam dají, že jo, ten healovací fireball. A nasází tam ty. Skoro jsme to defli, ale ten mrtvý.